Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning. What is happening, people? You already know what it is.
What's Gucci?
Fantasyland football. Something special is happening. I don't know what it is,
Oh,
but I'm just
this
feeling
week for you?
something special.
You mean for your lineups? Is that what you're talking about?
just for maybe just life, but fantasy football specifically, yeah. But just in general,
Okay.
life. If
I
you're
love it.
believing for something special to happen, talk it up.
Talk it up. I'm believing to win every single league this week. To be fair, there is 1 week, which was last week, or sorry, the week before last week, where I lost 8 of 9 leagues.
Yeah.
So it can happen the opposite way, right? That's what I tell myself. What's up, people? Thanks for joining us. What's up, Tommy, James, Enrico, Noah, Eternal? I am Dulce, and Oliver.
I am Deuce.
Yeah, no, I'm actually just speaking this into existence. Chick-fil-A, I mean, as if anyone's working for Chick-fil-A is watching this, but
Oh, it's okay. We already know that your parents are gonna open it up, and I'm gonna have at least maybe
They-
minimum 3%.
the thing is, you have to have so much money to open a Chick-fil-A franchise, so I don't see that happening.
Oh, it's okay.
But
I'm believing.
I would love to be. That would actually, if you were to ask me, like, what would be like the one sponsorship if you could secure any sponsorship if this takes off, I would be like Chick-fil-A. That would be my one.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
all right, so we're gonna start answering some of your questions. So here's how it works. If you got a question, ask it. Let us know if it's standard, half PPR, PPR, and as much information as you give us, we will be able to answer it properly. If you want yours, we'll answer them in order, okay, from top to bottom. And then if you want yours answered straight away, just drop a super chat. Badaki, do you want to go ahead with these first ones?
Yeah, what's good, Thomas? He says flex 100 Renfro, Kadarius, Tony, Rondell Moore, or Mooney. I think I'm leaning more towards Kadarius. KT, I'm assuming is Kadarius Tony. I'm gonna go Kadarius Tony. I like Kadarius Tony this week. He's playing the Rams. It's gonna be a high. You expect them to have to score and throw the ball. Sterling is back, but Kenny G is out. So Kadarius Tony for me. How do you feel about that?
I actually agree as well.
Mhm.
This is a riskier play, right? I think the safer play is probably Hunter Renfro. So
Yeah.
when you look at your opponent, do you need to play it safe? Because if you need to play it safe, then I would go Hunter Renfro. But if you need a high upside guy who could win you your week, we've already seen that from Kadarius Toney. So
Right.
I think his upside is way, way higher. So I would lean Kadarius if you need that upside.
Yeah, Hunter Henry or Noah Fant. Noah Fant's playing the Raiders, and Hunter Henry is playing the Cowboys. I think I'm still going Noah Fant. I believe he's gonna continue to do what he does. I think you have to go Noah Fant. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
it's just one of those things where it's just like,
I know
hey,
Hunter
I
Henry.
mean, it's Noah Fant. I know Hunter Henry's been good, but I don't know. It's hard to rely on Hunter Henry right now. I think he's more of a stash than a play.
Yeah. I think maybe one more week of somewhat consistency, then he can be a start week in and week out. James Zoo, is Fournette going to be a 20-point RB? Yeah, I think so. I think he's going to be continuing if they continue to use him in that position. I think that way. Sorry, I believe 20 points is a bit of a stretch. Maybe a good safe floor, I would say, is 10 points.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know that he's 20-point weekly. I don't see a 20-point weekly. Got to keep in mind the teams that they've played have not been powerhouse teams.
Yeah.
So I expect him to be a safe top 20 running back play each week, but I'm not gonna move him into the top 10 category. That's not something that I can do. And if you're doing it, you're risking a lot considering Bruce Arians' past and how insanely fluctuating he's been with his running backs. But it's definitely Lenny's job. But I would more say 12 to 15 point is like his floor going forward, especially that he's been involved in the passing game. I think he's had like 5 targets. He's like averaging 5 targets on the year, which is crazy. So
yeah, I definitely agree. He has another
Marvin
question.
or OBJ, I would go Marvin.
Yeah, Marvin's easy for me. Enrico, what's up, brother? Noah, should I start Zach Moss or Javonte Williams? That's a great question. Let me just double check. I know Zach Moss is playing the Titans.
Moss goes against Tennessee on Monday night.
And
Javonte's a star of the week for us against Las Vegas. But is Melvin confirmed playing?
I think Melvin is questionable, but I think he is going to be playing.
I think I would lean Zach Moss.
Yeah, I'm more comfortable with Zach Moss. I think he's going to get a decent amount of workload, and I think they're using him like Zach's saying. They keep using him in the red zone.
Yeah.
That's what we love from Zach Moss. So
Zach Moss was a trade for target for me this week, and out of everyone in the NFL, he has the 8th most opportunities in the red zone. He's getting worked in the red zone, and they trust him. And if you look at these splits from week 1 to 5, there's trends that would suggest that Zach Moss is the guy. I mean, last week he was on the field for 70+% of snaps. Before that, it's only ever been 55. Like, that's been the highest this year for him. So I like Zach Moss, especially against the Titans defense, who is suspect on the ground.
yeah,
We have a question over on Twitch that we'll answer real quick.
yeah.
We'll try and jump in between them.
Javonte, I don't know how to say that. What's up, brother? Okay, full PPR. Do I bench Hopkins, AJ Brown, Jamar Chase, or CD?
Jeez, man.
I think that's easy for me. I think
Okay.
I would say AJ Brown. He has the toughest matchup this week, if I'm not mistaken. They play the Bills. The Bills give up, I think, the least amount of fantasy points to wide receivers.
Okay, that makes sense.
D Hop's going against the Browns.
I like it. I like what you're saying. I think it makes sense. So
yeah, I like everyone else from there, Jamar Chase and CD. So
I mean, let's not forget what the Bills have done to Tyreek Hill. Like one of the best wide receivers in the league, shut him down. They've been doing that to tight ends or to wide receivers all year.
Yeah, so I would be leaning AJ Brown there. Noah, on YouTube should I start? Internal Javonte Williams or Jacoby Myers PPR. I think you have to go Jacoby. He's going to be.
So yeah, it's a PPR format as well, which makes it a little bit more difficult to give you a good answer.
And he's going against the Cowboys.
Who's Jacoby playing?
He's going against the Cowboys.
Jacoby against the Cowboys.
They give up a good amount of points to wide receivers as well. I think they're in the top 10.
Here's my issue. I like the Jacoby start. I would actually go Javonte this week. I wholeheartedly believe this is the week where he gets more opportunities than Melvin, and it's a good defense to play against. They give up the 10th most points to running backs. And between the two, I guess what it really comes down for me is who has the better chance to get a touchdown. And Jacoby Myers has never scored a touchdown in his career. So, and I think that's just because of the type of wide receiver he is. That could change this week, but when I think about who's got the better touchdown upside, I think it's Javonte. So that's why I would lean Javonte myself.
No, it makes sense. Roll with Hawkinson or start Ricky Seals. I know Ricky Seals will start the week for you, but I'm going to go with Hawkinson. I think both are decent starts. I think you kind of have to start both of those guys, especially with Ricky Seals matchup. Oliver.
Yeah. That's difficult because Ricky Seals. I feel comfortable starting him over so many people this week, including Tyler Higbee, Hunter Henry, like Mike Gesicki. Like that's how comfortable I am in him. But when you have a guy like T.J. Hawkinson, this is a dude who the organization knows who he is. So the opportunity should have come. So I agree. You have to go TJ.
I'm a little bit skeptical on Ricky Seals. I mean, I get it. I know you're a Washington fan, and you probably watch it more, and you probably understand that team, out of everyone else. I'm still skeptical on him. I don't know why. I just have an inkling feeling.
Okay, so fair enough.
What's up, Oliver? Should I trade Waller for CMC? Look, CMC just went on IR.
I'm so glad I traded him when I did.
Yeah, and you were saying that it was looking good, and I don't know, man. CMC, his injury is lingering. It's lingering right now, and that's not something that I can necessarily be happy to tell you to trade for.
This is an example of we probably need more information to give you the best answer, Oliver. So you're trading Waller and you're getting CMC, but who's your other tight ends? Like, are you just going to scour the waiver wire at this point? Because you're going to miss him for at least 3 more weeks now. At least 3 more. And that's best case scenario. He comes back 4 weeks from now. So I think no. I don't think I would, especially if you need wins right now. Like if you're a team that's even 2-3, 3-2, you can't make that trade. If you're 5-0, maybe.
Yeah, I definitely agree, but it all depends on where you're at right now. Thomas is liking that Chick-fil-A shirt from you, Greer. I mean, Chick-fil-A. Swift, CD, Deontay, or mix in PPR. Are you saying to start one? Swift, CD, Deontay, or mix in PPR? I think we need a little bit more information there, Greer, on what your question is.
Bro. I mean, are you in like an 8-man, 6-man league? How you got these options? That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think off the top of my head, I'll probably have to say Deontay.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's just going to get the work in my opinion. Deontay is playing the Seahawks. Seahawks are
Fifth
terrible.
place Cincinnati.
So
The issue could be though in this game. I could be wrong, but when I think about this game, I think from the Steelers' point of view, they might be more willing to run the ball in this game than any other game because the Hawks' defense is really bad, right?
they could.
I'm just thinking about how this game could play out.
I agree.
Hawks' defense is terrible. Geno Smith at quarterback, he did it for one drive, but can he put up points on the board? So I'd be a little more hesitant to start him over a guy like CeeDee Lamb for this week.
I
I
definitely
think I would lean CD, but it's close.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely close. Here we go. Would you trade CMC and Chase for Najee and Thielen?
I don't think you need to give up that much at this point.
CMC and Chase for Najee and Thielen. Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I don't want any part of the Thielen decline, which is I could be wrong, but it just kind of it feels like the decline's on the way. He's gonna have big games still, but I don't think it's gonna be consistent anymore.
Yeah,
that's
what it's looking like right now.
I just don't think you need to give up CMC and Chase. Chase is a rookie, guys, but he's a top 10 wide receiver in fantasy right now at this point. So I think you're giving up a lot. I love Najee, but
it's difficult.
I'm okay with it. I just feel like Thielen, you should get something better than Thielen.
Ridley or Debo rest of the season in a PPR.
By the way, Eternal, I'm jealous of you.
Yeah.
Ridley or Debo rest of season. I think I'd still go Ridley.
Yeah, I'm going Ridley as well. I just like his position in that quarterback there. You think Hopkins will be a wide receiver 2 after Ertz arrives? Look, this whole Ertz arriving here is really interesting. Now they have a true tight end playmaker in the mix. Kyler Murray was already spreading the ball around. It's going to be interesting. I don't know how much everyone is going to be, how much Ertz is going to be taking targets away from everyone. D-Hop, Rondell, AJ, all these guys. We just have to wait and see. That's still really early. He's not even going to play this week. So
I said this about like 2 weeks ago, I think. I was telling people, hey, it might be time to think about trading Hopkins. It is not because of Hopkins, but it's because of the offense that they're in. You think about a wide receiver like Cooper Kupp, for example, or Terry McLaurin. These are guys who absolutely need the ball in order for the team to have a chance to win.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for D-Hop, I think he's a top 2 wide receiver in the league talent-wise, but he's in an offense that has a lot of playmakers, and they actually don't need to force him the ball. So, yeah, I feel like I would potentially, if someone still views Hopkins as a top 5 option, I would be looking to cash in on that and see what I can get.
I agree. I definitely agree. Thomas losing by 21 is a must win. Absolutely. Hopefully it goes well. Andrew, what's up, brother? Gaskin, Emmanuel Sanders, or Chuba Hubbard PPR start 1?
It's a good question there.
Emmanuel Sanders obviously is playing the Titans. I feel like he can have one of these broken coverage games and has like a 40-yard touchdown because this Titans defense is not the best or secondary. And Chuba. Who's Chuba playing? Let me just double check.
Chuba plays
the Vikings, who have actually been decent against the run, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check the Vikings here. They're kind of in the middle of the pack right now.
My head would lean towards Chuba. Just because I don't think the Vikings are a great defense against the run. I could be wrong, but when I think about Sanders, like my heart says Sanders, but my head says, well, who's guaranteed to get like 20 touches? Probably Chuba or not Miles at this point. We don't know. Miles is so up and down. So
I completely agree. I think
I'd go Chuba.
For me, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I'm going to say Emmanuel Sanders. I feel like I can guarantee you. That's what it feels like. I feels like I can guarantee to you by saying that he will get that bomb touchdown this week, and that's probably a stretch. But I mean, take that as you will. Enrico, flex 1, Chuba. He has the same thing. Chuba Hubbard, Emmanuel Sanders, or Kadarius Toney, full PPR. It's the same thing. Kadarius Toney. I mean, I feel like Kadarius Toney's floor is pretty safe, in my personal opinion, but I'm still going Emmanuel Sanders here. I like
Mm.
Kadarius Toney though. I think the question now is Emmanuel Sanders for me and Kadarius Toney.
I think I
That
would go Chuba because I just think the opportunity is going to be guaranteed.
right, right.
If I didn't go Chuba, I would say Kadarius, but
Yeah, and I
I
think
think
I
I'm going
think
to lean Chuba
and
because
I
of the
think that's
guaranteed
where
work.
I think that's where I'm going. I'm going Kadarius. I think I'm comfortable with how they're working him in New York there. Scott Harris, need a flex. Booker, Julio, Alex Collins. Thanks guys. Thanks guys live. Love the channel. All love, brother. Thank you so much.
Appreciate that, man.
Um I'm
Mm.
interested to hear what you're saying. I know what I would pick.
I think
Uh,
I would lean Julio,
I don't know if I can
but
pick Julio. And then I think that's why I'm scared. I'm comfortable with Booker, honestly. Alex Collins playing the Steelers has a great run defense there, and I think yes, I think they're going to utilize Booker in the pass game this week more than we think. So I'm more comfortable taking
that's
Booker
definitely a
here.
possibility. The only thing that worries me is just the Rams.
100%. I completely agree, and the Rams do worry me in this offensive line, and Andrew Thomas is hurt and everything right now. So
Is Andrew Thomas hurt as well?
well, I think he's a game time decision if he's going to start. Last week he was
Okay.
a game time decision and didn't start. So it was another
I'm
week that
gonna
passed.
lean Julio, but it's pretty close. Who are the Seahawks playing?
The Seahawks are playing the Titans.
The
Sorry, the
Steelers.
Steelers. Sorry.
Hmm. I'm gonna go Julio.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Booker there. Call the bowl. Star Thielen or Tony? I'm going Tony once again.
Mm,
Thielen is playing the Panthers. Did
yeah.
really well last week. Defending
That it worries me to trust Tony that early.
I'm
Who is Jalen Ramsey gonna be guarding? Do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
think Jalen
why wouldn't
Ramsey,
he be guarding Tony?
because I don't think Jalen Ramsey travels, and we saw that last week.
I guess it does depend on the person. Yeah, I would lean Kadarius, but it's close.
Yeah, I think.
What's up, Dylan?
Mm-hmm.
ZZ Rock. I remember that from something, bro. What do I remember that from?
Hey, is easy, bro. I don't know what that means.
Do I know you from my childhood? I feel like I know this person. Allen Robinson or Chenault? I don't know if Robinson's playing. We'll have to find an update on that.
Let me double check for you right now. I think he is.
But I think I would lean Chenault.
I'm going Chanel as well. I'm hoping for a big game.
That's
for
a terrible
Chanel.
position to be in, by the way. I feel
I'm hoping
terrible for you.
Let me just double check Allen Robinson. I mean, this is the news right now. It's so funny. Bears wide receiver has officially been listed as questionable for Sunday's game against the Packers with an ankle injury. Even if A-Rob is able to play through the ankle injury, he's a little more of a boomer bust flex who has been almost exclusively bust this year. So it's not the best.
Yeah, makes sense.
Trade, go for it.
Trade Gibson and Sterling for Cordero Patterson, Mike Evans, and Crowder.
No, I don't think I would do that.
So Crowder's a guy, like, he's irrelevant in this trade when you think about it, right? Are you going to start him? We don't even know if he's worth being rostered right now with that offense. So you look at it, it's Cordero Patterson and Mike Evans. Mike Evans has just been inconsistent. I think he's the most inconsistent of the three. So I think I would stick with Gibson and Sterling at this point.
Ty,
Did you say the same?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm sticking with Gibson and Sterling. I feel a little bit more comfortable with those guys in the long run. Ty or D-controlled Booker at flex PPR. Wow. I'm going Booker. I'm not starting T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah. Sorry, keep going.
Steven, would you be willing to start Dan Arnold over a hurt Hawkinson? No, I'm still starting Hawkinson. I think he has a safe floor. I don't know if he has a safe floor, but I still believe in the talent. Kind of like what Zack said. This organization knows this guy. They're going to continue to utilize him. They're going to continue to give him these touches and give him everything that he needs to be successful. So I think he's still trying to mesh with Jared Goff. So we'll see that happening hopefully soon. Eternal thoughts. I'm 4-1. Should I trade Mixon for CMC after this week while seeing how Javonte does and just start Javonte RB2 for a few weeks? I love that move. Personally, I think I think I would do that. I don't know if Zack would.
Well, I traded CMC the first time he got hurt, and I got a package of Joe Mixon and Justin Jefferson, oddly enough. So I'm all aboard this. I still think you can get more than just Joe Mixon. Like, there should be a piece, like an upcoming piece, like a Tony, a Pittman. I still think that you can get more, because how you sell it to someone is like, dude, you're 5-0, you're 4-1. You make this trade, you will win the league. Like, you just tell them this, right? That you convince them that way. You get CMC when he's back, you're probably going to win the league. So give me this person, help me out. So yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I hear you, Aaron. Yo, someone offered me Keenan Allen and Hopkins for one of the RBs I have. Either James Robinson, Cordero Patterson, or Kareem Hunt. Should I give one of these guys up?
Oh yeah, bro. If you can trade Cordero Patterson for Keenan Allen and DeAndre Hopkins,
yeah, that's great. I would definitely do it.
That's a smash, yes.
I think someone already said, yeah, T.Y. Hilton or Devontae Booker. I read that.
You got to go Booker here. I mean, we can't trust Hilton yet, guys. He hasn't played football in how long?
Thomas, I'm so nervous about trades, but I think I have to. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Sorry, keep going. Trying to figure out a key situation. I don't have a key to my house. My wife's leaving.
No, it's all right. Christian, Tyler Higbee or Schultz? Wow, that's a great question. I think you have to go. I think you still have to go Tyler Higbee. But I love Schultz matchup personally. I know he's playing the Patriots. Let me just double check how many points they give up. Schultz or the Patriots give up the second least amount of fantasy points to tight ends. So Schultz could be out of the question if you want to go according to the numbers. But I'm still leaning Tyler Higbee in my personal opinion. I would rather have that. Justin Young, Fant or Hunter Henry in full PPR? We had this question earlier. I think I would go Fant. We agree with Fant. We understand that like Hunter Henry has somewhat of a streak right now, but let's see one more week. Henderson, Gibson, or Deontay in full PPR? I think I'm going Deontay, man.
Man, how do you sit any of these guys?
Yeah, it's definitely hard, but Henderson is great as well. He's playing the Giants. I mean, all
oh my God, I know who Dylan Pauly is. Oh, bro.
I don't know who that is.
What's Gucci, bro? Wow. Sorry, I just had, you know how like someone from like, not even my childhood, but.
Like when you were in diapers type vibe?
No. I was like 15, 14, 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
That's over a decade ago. Damn, bro. What's up? What's good?
Yeah, bro. What's up? You all right?
So, sorry. Henderson, Gibson, or Deontay?
Yeah,
just had a light bulb moment.
You definitely have to start those guys. If I had to choose one, I think I'm going with the safe floor of Henderson. I think he'll find the end zone. I think he is going to get the touches. I like him, but I think
I would go Henderson as well.
I also love Deontay. I love Deontay and Gibson. So you have to start.
Are we undervaluing Gibson at all against the Chiefs though? Potentially, I'm just speaking out loud though.
I hear what you're saying.
If this is a shootout.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's my concern. Is he going to be worked into the passing game, or is JD?
Or is it JD?
That's my concern this week.
Okay. Yeah, I would go Henderson as well because I think he has the safest floor.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Let's see who else. Justin Young, Hollywood or Zeke? I flex in full PPR. If Hollywood.
By the way, sorry, can I tell a quick story about this whole
go for it.
So me and a friend. I don't know if you remember when jerking was like a thing. Like it was a dance move.
Don't tell me you used to jerk.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I thought it was super cool. There was this group called the Power Rangers.
Yes,
I don't know if you remember them.
I know who they are.
They're Power Rangers, and we were like, oh, we're gonna actually be the Power Rangers, but way better. So we formed a dance crew called K-Reg Crew. And it was shockingly bad. Oh, we've got a super chat. My story can wait. If you got a question and you want to answer it straight away, drop a super chat and we'll get to it. What's up, Matt? He says, "Sup, guys?" Big love for the Donny. Should I trade Dalvin for Diggs and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, or for Diggs and James Conner? James Conner, you want to be trading away, so no to him. He's completely touchdown dependent. 30 of his 57 points in fantasy this year have come from touchdowns. It can't continue. Dalvin for Diggs and Clyde. Man, that's tough, Badaki, because who knows what happens with Clyde? You're muted, by the way, but
am I muted? I'm not muted.
You were for a second there, or maybe your mic didn't register.
I was just really far.
The hard thing here is any player who's currently injured, that injury could always continue into the season. CMC, right? David Montgomery, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, these MCL sprains. Normally you come back from them, but who knows how long it actually takes? Nick Chubb was supposed to be 3 weeks. He was 5. So that's difficult for me. But what do you think?
I would actually tell you not to do this trade. Dalvin will come back. Dalvin will play great. Dalvin also has a bye week, and you can kind of get that out the way right now. He's going to play this game. Yeah. You're going to see how he feels. He's going to rest. He's already rested for 2 weeks.
And by the way, Matt, your record might indicate what you need to do here. Mm-hmm. Are you 0-5? Because you keep Dalvin this week because of the matchup. But maybe you make this trade next week when he's on a bye.
Oh, love, Matt. Thank you for subscribing as well there, brother. I would say not to, personally. Yeah. I just think that Dalvin is too valuable, and Diggs is valuable as well, but you're losing. You're really just trading Dalvin for Diggs at the moment, and that's not what you want. You want more value.
If it was Diggs and a Cordero, or Diggs and a running back in that sphere, I would be more open to it. But I don't think you can do that. He says, no, I'm 2-3 and it's a vampire league. Yeah, I don't think you can do that, unfortunately, man. That's just what we would do if it was us. We would stick with Dalvin.
Yeah.
I'm going to let my wife out of the garage. Go ahead.
No, you're good. All love for that super chat. Where were we here? Justin, Hollywood or Zeke at the flex in full PPR? You have to start Zeke. There's no doubt about it. So let's just get that out the way. If Hollywood or Swift in full PPR at the flex. Wow. Hollywood or Swift. I'll be honest with you. My first impressions will tell you to go Swifty. I have Swifty in multiple leagues. I believe he is the guy. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he's top 10 running back at the moment. But so is Hollywood Brown. So that's pretty difficult. Let's go through the matchups. Hollywood is playing the Chargers, so it could be a shootout, or Swifty is playing the Bengals. Whew. Swifty or Hollywood. I think I still have to go Swifty here, man. Rashad Bateman's coming back this week. Let's see what happens. Go Swift. I'm taking Swift here. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Hollywood or Swift in full PPR at flex?
Hollywood or Zeke?
Oh, I already answered that, but it's for sure Zeke. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Where are you at? Sorry.
Justin Young, Hollywood or Zeke at flex in a full PPR, and Hollywood or Swift in a full PPR.
Oh, right. I think I will go Hollywood, in all honesty. He feels like a risky play, but everything indicates that he's not anymore. And this could be the week where that's your downfall. But
yeah, I'm definitely. I'm going Hollywood and
the
Swift.
Thing is,
Zeke.
You're going Hollywood.
Sorry, I'm going Zeke and Swift. But if we chose Hollywood, he's asking Hollywood or Swift.
I was okay. Well, I think I would actually lean Zeke and Swift, and the reason I say that is because Hollywood could catch 8 balls, but so could Swift. Do you know what I mean? So he presents a safer floor.
Yeah. Steven, one more for y'all. Start Javonte Williams or Alex Collins. Appreciate the help, fellas. This channel is great. Thank you so much, Steven. Appreciate you. Javonte, absolutely.
Collins is up against the Steelers. It's a legit D, and who knows what that offense is going to look like with Geno.
Rams or Bengals defense? I think we both agree we had to play the Rams. Do I trade Hopkins or Edmonds for Aaron Jones? Hopkins and Edmonds for Aaron Jones.
Can you get back another piece?
Yeah, I would say no. I need more. I need more from that. Because Edmonds has been great and Hopkins has still been putting up his points. So
can you get a Tony in that? Can you get a Boyd in that? Can you get a who else is in that category? A Claypool? Do you know what I mean? Someone else to kind of help even that trade out. But no, not straight up like that.
Yeah, Zach. Since you weren't here, what do you think, Higbee or Schultz? Higbee's playing the Giants. Schultz is playing the Patriots. I said Higbee.
Yeah, this is always difficult because I still feel like any week Schultz could just drop 2 points. You know what I mean? Like
I definitely believe in Schultz.
It's hard for me to trust him at this point, but I see why people trust him. I think I'm gonna ride the hot hand until it burns me. That's what I would do if it was me. If I had Higbee and I had Schultz, I'm riding the hot hand of Schultz until it burns me. I'm gonna keep riding it.
Easy.
That's what I would do if it was me.
My 2 wide receivers are Deontay and Woods. Do I try to trade for a better wide receiver?
Really depends on your league format. You know, are you 2 wide receivers? Are you 3? Are you 2 flexes? Or because if you need depth at wide receiver, no, you probably don't. You just ride those guys. But if you already got insane depth at that position and you can afford to, do a 2-for-1, then yes, always be open to upgrades. But you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Let's go on Twitch here. The Colombian, what's up, brother? Mi gente. Who should I trade to get? Who should I trade to get by? Sorry, who should I try and get by trading CMC? Look, there's so many variations of people that you can trade for. I know Zack did a Joe Mixon and a Justin Jefferson a couple weeks ago, trading away CMC. There's so many things, honestly.
Yeah. Let me look at some logistic. So here's the issue, guys. I mean,
he gives his team too. So if you want,
something we like to say is when it comes to trades, it always depends on what the other owners think over what we think. We could tell you these players, but the owners could have a different perspective. It's like going to Sonic. How many drink combinations are there here? There's millions, and that's the truth. In every trade, there's millions of opportunities.
Right.
But let me look at some options for you here of guys that I would consider targeting for CMC, and I would try to do this as soon as possible. I wouldn't let this linger out because if you keep letting it linger out with CMC's injury, eventually people are going to be less and less likely to want him. So you're not going to get an RB1. I don't think if you want to do a 2-for-1 type vibe, but I would trade CMC if I could get Swift, Mixon, James Robinson. I'm still high on James Robinson, Darrell Henderson, Kareem. Honestly, I would even go Fournette if I got a really good wide receiver. If I got Fournette and Deontay Johnson, for example, like he's not an elite guy, but he's still PPR reliable guy. That's something that I would be interested in myself.
Another or like because he has Deontay Johnson, for example.
Oh, he does have. Okay, so maybe like a Kareem and you cash in on a Calvin Ridley at his lowest right now, or you cash in on someone who's uncertain about AJ Brown. AJ Brown's a really good flex piece here for you to still find value. Brown could return that value. So those are some names that I'm looking to trade for CMC. I mean, at this point, he's going to miss 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks of the season at minimum, which is crazy.
Yeah. All right.
Like in totality.
It's definitely unlucky for CMC owners. It's so annoying. Derek.
I hope that helps, by the way.
Pick 2, Chuba Hubbard, Darrell Williams, Devontae Booker, Alex Collins. I'm going Chuba.
By the way, I don't know where we are, but where are we right now?
Derek.
On sorry, YouTube. My bad. Go ahead.
Derek on YouTube. Chuba, Darrell Williams, Devontae Booker.
This is actually easy for me. I would go Chuba and Darrell.
Yeah, Chuba and Darrell. Those are the 2 guys that I'm going as PPR opportunity as well. Let's continue.
Dylan, ding, ding. Love your channel, brother. Keep up the good work. I appreciate you, man. That was actually really, really fun to think back on. Christian, start 2. Keenan, DK, Robert Woods, or Thielen or Robert Woods. Start 2. Keenan, DK, Robert Woods.
So out of those 2, I'm starting Keenan and DK. And then if it's out of Thielen or Robert Woods, I'm starting Robert Woods.
Yeah, we agree. And then TJ or Schultz, I'll go TJ. You go
TJ as well.
Beautiful.
Justin, should I trade away Gibson for CMC in a full PPR? I have Eckler, Hunt, Henderson, Gibson, Javonte, and Chuba as my RBs right now. So you have Chuba already, and you are trying to get CMC. And yeah, I would do that. Eckler, Hunt, Henderson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've already got Eckler, Hunt, Henderson. These are 3 top 15 running backs.
Mm-hmm.
So there's actually no risk for you to
And
do
you
that
have
trade, especially because you got the cover of Chuba for the
you
bye
have
weeks that are coming up.
you have the handcuff, so you're definitely chilling. Tommy, your boy Briggs Broccoli, what's good, brother? I always love when you come on to the stream. Thoughts on Fournette rest of the season? It looks like he's becoming a guy that you can start week in and week out. It looks like that you're starting to utilize him. We said it earlier. I think his floor right now is about 10 points per week, and he can go and have a great game just like he did last week. I think, what was it, 2 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. With the Eagles, he was also utilized in the passing game. He is the guy, unfortunately.
I'll say this.
for Ronald
I
Jones.
wouldn't be opposed to trading high on Fournette, though. With how many options there are in that offense, do you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw like the weeks 1 to 3 again at some point during this season in a stretch where they are 50 attempts a game and not many rushing attempts. So I think you're right. We said that his floor was like 10 to 15 points every week, which is good. He's a very valuable running back. He's probably a top 18 running back going forward each week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to trading high and trying to cash in on someone who's maybe more predictable within their offense, like a Swift, if that makes sense.
I understand. Like, sell high, maybe get.
I like him though. I like him rest of the season.
Get him more.
He might be the best
player.
value, other than Mike Williams. He might be the best value in draft so far.
Yeah, we'll see. Ryan, guys, is desperately trying to trade me Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, and Melvin Gordon for Aaron Rodgers and Jonathan Taylor. My other RBs are Mike Davis and Chase Edmonds. Should I do it?
Hey, hold on. So firstly, if anyone's trying to trade you in desperation and they're forcing your hand, never fall into that. Like, that's just, you know what's the worst is when someone wants to trade with you and they send you a list of all the reasons that your players are bad on the side of the trade and the reasons why their players are great. Like, the response to that, for me, every time is looks like you don't need to trade this person then. Like, it looks like this trade would be bad for you then. So if someone's doing it in desperation, like, I don't like to trade with people who are like pushing me. Although the opposite side of that is it's terrible when you're in a league when no one replies to trades either. So at least someone is being active with you. Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Melvin Gordon for Aaron Rodgers and Jonathan Taylor. His other RBs are Mike Davis and Chase Edmonds. Absolutely not. I mean, look, I don't think it's a terrible trade. Rodgers and Herbert, I see similarly. Mike Williams has been great, but Melvin Gordon is about to get washed in the next 5 weeks, in my opinion. And you don't have running back depth to make this trade. Mike Davis, I don't want to start him. Chase Edmonds, I mean, he's startable. You got to keep Jonathan Taylor, in my opinion. I don't think you can trade him away, not with the depth that you have.
Yeah, I agree. Diamond, he was asking the chat a question. What side wins, Stephon Diggs and Gaskin or Hunt and Booker?
I wonder if this is a trade.
Stephon Diggs and Gaskin or Hunt and Booker? I would say Stephon and Gaskin because Booker, once Saquon's back, he's irrelevant.
Unless this is like start, like who are you starting? Because I would say Hunt is a top 5 play this week potentially with Chubb out.
Let's see. Where are we? Let's go back to Twitch really fast.
Okay, yeah.
Columbia. He has one more question. He's like, should I trade away another player along with CMC?
Yeah, I'll give you an example of a trade I made. This was the first time. This was the first time that CMC got injured. So I think I probably traded him. Would you agree that I probably traded him at his peak value compared to now? Because people might be a little bit more hesitant.
Yeah. At the time, I mean, even at the time, I don't think it was. Yeah, it still was his peak value actually. So yeah, you did trade him at his peak value.
So a trade I made. Let me just try and find it for you guys because this is probably pretty good for you to see. Okay, so I sent away Christian McCaffrey. CMC. Sorry, I just said the same player. Sorry. Okay, so I sent CMC, Julio Jones, Juju, and Sony Michel. Those were the 4 I sent. Okay, Jones, Julio, CMC, Juju, Sony, and I received back Sterling Shepard, Joe Mixon, and Justin Jefferson. So that's an example where I utilized more players on my team to get 2 players I really cared about, which was Mixon and Jefferson. So I added in Julio, I added in Juju, and then Sony Michel had just come off a decent game because Henderson wasn't fully healthy. So I kind of utilized some bench pieces to get those two players I really, really wanted in that trade. So that's an example of something that you could potentially do. Players on your team, I would say I would add like a Khalil right now. Add Khalil before Damian gets back. Oh, this guy's, this is a starter. You could have a starter for these buys. In trades, add Sterling. I wouldn't be opposed to adding Jacoby. You have Chase and Deontay, so that's a weird position to be in. I would be moving Chase if I can.
Yeah, I would.
But
as well.
after this week, because I think he's gonna have a good week.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I think Eternal was the next one on YouTube.
Yeah, Eternal, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. You're always coming through, brother. Thank you so much for asking questions. We're glad to help. Full PPR. Do I trade Hopkins and Edmonds for Aaron Jones and Kenny G? Ooh, I don't think I would do that trade. I love Aaron Jones. Kenny G is always up and down. He was getting his feet under himself, and this Giants offense were starting to utilize him in the right way, and then he got hurt again. So
I just don't have any desire for Kenny Golladay on my team.
Mm-hmm.
When he comes back, I don't know if you're even going to feel comfortable to start him.
I agree.
Will Tony be the target hog now?
Mm-hmm.
So
we'll see what happens.
It's not been a good fit so far. I would say no to that, but it does depend if you really need running backs, Yeah. But I would say no.
I would say no as well. Ian, start Hollywood or Tony. I think we'll both say Hollywood. We love both of these guys, but it's Hollywood. Seems just like he's on the better offense, and Lamar is just going crazy right now.
Yeah.
Christian, is Booker a good start this week? If you are in I think he is a decent play.
Depends on your situation, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really depends. Like, I'm not in love with it, but I understand if you have to start him, and I think he does have a safe floor of at least 8 points.
Yeah, so, I think the comforting thing about Booker is that he is used in the passing game with the small sample size that we've seen. I don't know if that changes. That could change,
Yeah. Joey, thank you so much for subscribing, brother. Appreciate you.
Appreciate that, bro. But I would start Booker over people like Melvin, Damian Harris, Tony Pollard, Alex Collins, Miles Sanders already played. I'm just trying to think of names. James Conner. So it is really relative to the options that you have, but
yeah,
he's a decent start.
I completely agree. Ryan, pick 2: Sutton, Woods, Higgins, or Tony. I would say
Sutton, Woods, Higgins, Tony.
Who's Higgins play out of curiosity? I haven't looked at him. He's playing the Lions.
So Robert Woods, you have to start. Let's just start there, right? So, and we can pick 2.
Yeah,
is that right?
I'm thinking Roberto and Tony, but it's a toss-up between Tony and Higgins because Nick Chubb is hurt.
I don't know, man. I think Sutton is someone I might start. The reason I'm more worried about T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd this week is because of game script. I see a very realistic scenario where the Bengals could be up by 20 points going into the second half, and it's all Joe Mixon. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like they don't need to attack them through the air. And that could be very wrong, but when I look at Cortland Sutton, he's been really, really good with Teddy, which is surprising because we didn't expect that to happen. And he plays the Raiders, who are going to probably be able to score. They're going to be at least competent. I might lean Sutton if I had to choose between them. But man, that's hard because we could easily fail you on that one. I feel confident in Woods, but the Sutton, Higgins, and Tony pick, that's really difficult because those are in very similar categories.
I hear you.
But you would go...
I'm going Woods and Tony. I hear the Sutton aspect, but it's the same thing. Like, I can see them being up by a lot of points, and it could be Javonte Day,
Okay.
But we'll see what happens. There's so much negative media going around with the Raiders that, like, maybe they just get lost in it. In a sense. I
think, if anything, it's something to rally around.
It could be 100%.
Typically, interim head coach, his first game as a head coach. I mean, it doesn't always happen, but typically you see a team rally around him.
Yeah. Go for
Next question, Ryan. What's up, my guy, Ryan Guaraloa? I'm pretty sure I butchered that. Yeah, I was leaning no. He doing it because he lost Chubb to injury this week.
That was the other question about Justin Herbert, Mike Williams.
The desperation trade.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the fact that guy, I mean, unless he's like 1-4, if you're desperate out of desperation making trades because of one injury, you probably didn't construct your roster the right way. So that's on him.
Yeah. All love Brixie. Instead of Galladay, do I go with Antonio? I have Kareem, Kamara, Eckler, and Monty.
Instead of Galladay, do I go with Antonio?
What was full PPR? Do I trade Hopkins and Edmonds for Aaron Jones? Yeah, you can try it. Try it. See what happens. Aaron Jones and Gibby. Why not?
Are you saying Antonio Gibson or are you saying Antonio Brown?
Oh, Antonio Brown, maybe. Yeah, I would still do
either
Antonio
way,
Brown.
I would say yes.
Yes. Either way, I would say yes.
Bobby Schmerda.
Bobby Schmerda's all up.
Brother. Welcome out.
Welcome.
Proud of you, bro. Proud you made it out.
He's out. You're free, brother. Hey, all love. Bench one.
It's Antonio Brown. Just to quickly finish that, JV, I think we would do that for sure.
Bench one: Deontay, Jefferson, McLaurin, Tyreek. Oh my gosh. Who's JJ playing? I mean, you have to.
This is such a difficult question.
All these guys. This is like we're gonna lose this question.
We're gonna lose this question because all these guys are must starts. I think I would have to say Deontay. All these other guys are target monsters on their teams, and so is Deontay. Man, I trust the offenses maybe more in the quarterback connection with the other players.
I think I'm the other way. I think I would actually sit. This is so hard.
You can't sit Terry McLaurin. He's getting hyper targeted every week.
Also,
you can't sit Tyreek because he's Tyreek, and you can't sit Justin Jefferson because they're
all getting hyper targeted.
He's a top 5 wide receiver.
It's hard to answer that question. I mean, I'm losing there, so I'm just gonna go with somebody I maybe wouldn't start. Probably Terry. I like Deontay too much.
Against the Chiefs? You're not gonna start Terry against the Chiefs?
And Deontay against the Seahawks. So
okay,
but I get it. Like they could run the ball. I see both sides.
Burrow or Daniel Jones? I would go Burrow, pretty easily for me.
Yeah, I agree. Is OBJ a good start this week? Because I got Mike.
I don't think so.
You got Mike?
If you're saying Mike Williams, I would play him even if he's going to be limited.
Yeah, I'll still start him in our opinion. What are some good defenses to stream this week? The Rams, the Bengals.
The Rams wouldn't be a streamer though, to be fair.
Yeah, true. The Bengals are a streamer. I saw a list of defenses.
Houston's a good streamer. They play. Sorry, I meant to say Indianapolis. I meant to say the Colts because they play Houston.
Let me tell you really quick. I have a list. The Colts, Miami at Jacksonville, Green Bay at Chicago, Panthers at Minnesota. Vikings.
Is it crazy to say the Cowboys versus New England?
No doubt about it. The Cowboys was next. Cowboys and New England. Vikings at Carolina. You can do either one of those defenses. The Broncos at Vegas. Obviously, Rams in New York. Steelers obviously at Seattle, and Bills. All those guys are must starts defenses. But yeah. Bengals, Miami, Panthers, Packers, and Cowboys, I think I like a lot.
I like it. All right, we got some questions on Twitch that we'll answer. Tony or AJ Brown? I love Tony, but I think you still have to trust AJ over him. Am I wrong there?
No.
Okay.
I like it. Tony, I think you still have to start AJ. It's definitely difficult, but you have to start him.
Should I start Deontay and Claypool, or is it bad to start them both? It's not bad to start them both. I would be looking to trade one of them. Deontay, you can get elite value for right now. Claypool, you can still get good value for. I think the issue is it's not bad to start both of them, right? But the issue comes when, let's say the Steelers have an off game. Then you've put so much capital into their wide receivers, and it's ruined your week. Yeah. The same can be said if it's the opposite. They have an amazing game, but you want more consistency and more results from different games. So,
I agree. Completely agree. Any other questions on Twitch? No,
not on Twitch, but we got some more popping over on YouTube.
On YouTube here. Okay, so Jacobs or Javonte?
Jacobs plays Denver and Javonte plays Raiders.
I might have to go Javonte because Denver has a good defense.
Yeah, I think I would go Javonte as well.
A really good defense.
That's a really close one though. I'll be honest with you, that's a very close one. I'd be back and forth in my head, but I would go Javonte. Pollard or Collins? I I think I would lean Collins, just because I think he has the more guaranteed workload than Pollard. Pollard is the
Pollard or
more
Collins?
explosive player by
Yeah,
far, but
I
the
agree.
issue is that there is like 20 options on the Cowboys offense where, I mean, you expect that Collins is going to get at least 15 touches.
Mm. I completely agree. Pollard is definitely more explosive. I think you go Pollard. DJ Moore. Is DJ Moore still a must start this week? Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. He's a must start, according to us, and probably for the rest of the season until something crazy or really bad happens.
Yeah.
So
He is a
don't
must start.
question DJ Moore. Now, too, on return game or Burrow. You're starting Joe Burrow, no doubt about it.
Yeah, you gotta go, bro. You can't trust Tua yet.
Mm-hmm.
If it came down to one this week, who would it be out of Miami Panthers or Vikings defense? Miami Panthers, or I think off the top of my head, I would say Panthers.
Yeah, I would say. Let me just
Who do
look.
they play though? They play Minnesota.
Well, the
Who does Miami
Panthers.
play?
Miami plays Jacksonville in London, and Vikings and Panthers play each other. So, and the Vikings play away. I'm going Panthers at home.
That's so hard.
But
We're gonna get this wrong. I'll be honest with you.
Kirk Cousins been balling though. Like I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think he's doing so well, and I like his swag right now. It just feels good for me. So
I think I might lean Miami.
am I?
Is that crazy to say? I think I might lean Miami. But I'll be honest with you, man. It really doesn't, like, defense is so unpredictable. Let's not forget last week, everyone, including us, said the Patriots were the best stream of the week against Houston.
Mm-hmm.
They got rocked by the Texans.
Yeah.
That's just football. It's unpredictable.
Yeah.
If you answer Jacobs versus, can you recap? My phone crashed. You're good.
Said Javonte.
Basically, we said that it was a very close call, and we would be battling with that decision ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We would lean towards Javonte, Melvin dealing with an injury, and the Broncos defense is legit. So
yeah, that's it. We have one more on Twitch. I'm starting. Columbia saying I'm starting Claypool, Deontay, and Higgins at the moment. Jacoby Myers and Sterling Shepard are both on my bench. So I would personally.
Yeah, I mean, that's who you have to start, right?
Yeah, you definitely have to start. I think Deontay and Claypool. But like, if you let's just say you traded one of those guys away and you didn't get a wide receiver piece in return, who would you start out of those guys? So Higgins, Jacoby Myers, Sterling.
But I was even going to go a step further and just give him ideas of who to trade for these people.
Absolutely.
So, like, for example, Deontay, I think you could probably get a Keenan at this point. Keenan is undervalued by the community right now, top 3 in targets, but he's like a wide receiver 20 on the year. It's going to change for him. I think you can make that trade, Deontay for Keenan. Maybe if someone's still worried about Deontay for Jamar, I would go Deontay for DK. People worried about DK. Deontay, would you go Deontay for CD at this point? Probably not. Hey,
I would go Claypool. I would do Claypool for CD, not Deontay for CD.
Yeah, so let's talk about Claypool then. So Claypool, I like his rest of season outlook, especially now with Juju out. Would you go Claypool? All right, CD. I agree. I'd rather have CD. What about Robert Woods?
I would take Robert Woods for Claypool right now.
Yeah, I think that list is a little bit harder to.
I'm thinking of guys like you think of Claypool and you think of like the people that I think of is I think Antonio Brown is too high right now.
Yeah, you couldn't get Brown at this point, but
I think of a Calvin. I think of a Kadarius
how about an
Toney.
AJ Brown? If you could flip Claypool for AJ Brown, I would do that.
Yeah, you definitely can. AJ Brown. I think of a Tyler Lockett. Because Tyler Lockett, I mean, you sell it with like.
You know who might be primed to flip right now? Claypool. Flip him for Chris Godwin. Because he's coming off of 2 weeks where he wasn't really necessary to the offense. And he's still going to be, in my opinion, the most consistent. I don't know if you've changed on that. I know you said that in the past, but I think it's a great time to buy low on Chris Godwin. In an explosive offense, the reality is this offense isn't going to be ran through Leonard Fournette. He's still going to be a vital part of it. Mm-hmm. But when they play teams that are going to be able to score easier on them, it's going to be a closer game. Then they're going to have to utilize Godwin more. And Godwin is still the most consistently targeted wide receiver. So yeah, I would be flipping Claypool for Godwin.
I agree. I like those guys. I guess we'll just end it off with his. He says CMC and Deontay for who? Once again, there's so many variations. Just shop it. Just be like CMC and Deontay on the block. You know, I would try to get a running back and a wide receiver, like a low end wide receiver, or I don't know. It all depends. It really just depends on who you like, what you're trying to get. Like an AJ Brown, I would have in that mix. You get him on the low right now, just like Zack said. Like a Joe Mixon, AJ Brown, Joe Mixon. That'll be interesting with CMC out right now. So.
Yeah.
Shop it around, see what happens. I think it's
Christian on YouTube says, should I do D-Hop and Kareem Hunt for Alvin Kamara? No, I wouldn't do that. I still love Alvin Kamara, but I don't think that's proper value there. D-Hop and Kamara and Kareem I would prefer over
Calvin.
Alvin. Alvin Kamara and Calvin Ridley. Yeah.
D-Hop.
If I'm getting Kamara and Calvin Ridley, hell yeah, I would do that.
I think I like Hopkins, Kareem. Yes. Sorry. I saw D-Hop, Keenan Allen, and Kareem. I was like, wait, you gave me all those three for Alvin and Calvin?
So if the trade is Kamara and Calvin Ridley, if that's how we're understanding it correctly, I would prefer those two. I don't know if that's. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Here we go.
Tamian, drop two. Oh
gosh.
AJ Brown, Higgins, A-Rob, Michael Thomas. A-Rob's the first one.
Michael Thomas.
Jesus Christ, how are we dropping these? Michael Thomas, AJ Brown, and T. Higgins at this point, though.
Yeah.
How are you dropping them?
8-man league maybe. You had some other people there.
I'll say with Michael Thomas, like he should be on your IR. You should have an opportunity to place him on your IR right now and not even worry about him. But A-Rob is probably the obvious drop there.
Yeah.
Who knows? What Michael Thomas is just the great unknown right now in fantasy. He's probably being shopped around, and he's either going to be a massive disappointment or a massive surprise. I don't think there's going to be an in-between. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's very disappointing for A-Rob. Starting JT, Darrell Williams, Higgins, Claypool, Allen Robinson, Andrews. Do you replace anyone with Connor or Hines? I'm not replacing anyone with.
Yeah, my issue is with Allen Robinson. Do we still trust Allen Robinson?
I hear you with the issue, but in the flex position, are you starting Allen Robinson or James Conner, or Allen Robinson and Nyheim Hines? Who's Nyheim Hines playing?
He's playing Houston. I'm not starting Conner, but I think I would rock with a Hines. But let me just look at Hines the last couple weeks quickly before I just put my foot in my mouth.
Have a look, brother. Have a look. Let me know how you feel. Huh?
So Nyheim Hines, been pretty consistently around 40% of snaps, but he's not been utilized except for Tennessee. At Tennessee, why is it so confusing with this backfield? Just freaking figure it out.
Yeah, it is definitely.
Man, yeah, I don't think you can start Hines. I don't think you can start Allen Robinson either, but you have to. Is he going to play?
Yes, he is. Apparently he will play. From what I know, he will be playing. But
okay, I would lean Allen Robinson, but if he doesn't play, then I would start Hines. But I would still lean Allen Robinson. Man, that's tough.
Yeah, it definitely could change.
And I'll tell you what, Gator. I know we've had a lot of conversations because you support us on Patreon. I think your year can be chopped up to just such unlucky things. I know on his team he's got Clyde, unlucky. He's got Carson, unlucky. He drafted A-Rob, unlucky. No one saw that coming. And I also don't love that your league doesn't allow tight ends. Like tight ends are just regular wide receivers. But
yeah,
I think you got to chop up what's happened so far to just being completely unlucky. But you still have good players. JT, great player. Darrell Williams, great play. Higgins, Claypool could have himself a week. So don't give up. Don't give up hope. I know you've been wanting to make moves, but it takes two to tango. Joseph, St. Brown or Vishka at flex? I think I would go St. Brown.
I'm going Vishka.
Going Vishka?
Yeah, I love St. Brown, but I'm going Vishka.
It was almost like, I don't know if you saw the report that came out this week. Jared Goff was like, I want to target St. Brown more. So that's what leans me towards St. Brown, because sometimes there is conversations, and it does change the game plan. It doesn't always, but this feels like maybe one of those times.
I agree. I hear you. Like when you see those reports, you're like, oh man, it just makes you want to start him.
Yeah.
I have Hill, Justin Jefferson, Lamb, and AB on top of those. Thomas should come back soon. Yeah, that makes sense. He wants to drop somebody. So he has. It looks like an 8-man league potentially, or a 10-man league.
Yeah, that's rough, man. I mean, I guess could you potentially trade? Here's what I would do if I was you, Tamian. I would trade AB on a high. I would trade AB or CD Lamb, and I would package them. I might actually package Lamb and AB and go out and try and get Davante Adams, or upgrade at tight end, or I might trade one of them to upgrade at tight end if you need help at tight end.
Ooh, some pancakes.
That's tough, man. I guess we would have to say MT if you have to cut one of them. I would be looking to do a 2-for-1 trade. I'll be maybe even taking an L to do a 2-for-1 trade. Should I start Claypool or Woods? It's a good question. You know, Woods, is it what we saw last week, or is it what we saw the previous 4 weeks against the Giants?
Yeah, I agree.
I think I would lean Woods though because of the floor.
I'm definitely still going.
There's a more likely scenario that Robert Woods has 10 targets than Chase Claypool. So I think that's where my vote is kind of swung there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, a question on Twitch. CMC plus Deontay for who? Swift and Williams? As in DeAndre Swift and Mike Williams? Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Yeah. I would be okay with that. I think you might be able to get more though, but yeah, I would be okay with it. Mike Williams. Is it weird that there's still a little like part of me that's unsure of Mike? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think
I don't like it either. I definitely get what you're saying.
I think you got to trust him at this point, right?
Yeah, I think you have to.
Dude's like, what, wide receiver 2 on the year? What am I worried about? I'm okay with it. Swift and Williams. Yeah, I'm okay with that. The more I think about it, you know, you're not gonna have CMC for at least the next 3 weeks, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe the rest of the year. I'm okay with it. Wait, who has the best half PPR Steelers wide receiver? I would still go Deontay, personally.
Deontay Let me look it up.
But in half PPR, that makes Claypool much more valuable. So, not even much more, but just more, because
Deontay is definitely, I guess, higher in finishing so far in this year.
Yeah.
Deontay is wide receiver 21, and Claypool is wide receiver 31. So,
yeah.
All love, Paul Miller. Thank you much.
Appreciate that. Pancake. Thanks, Paul, for the sub.
And a crow.
And a chow. All right, what's the next question here on YouTube? It's from Gator. I also wish we were doing Superflex. Having to start Fields is really hurting me. Yeah, man, I get that. No one would have seen how much Fields would struggle. It's not even that he's struggling. It's just that the offense is so poorly planned around him. Tamian, I'm trying to trade packages right now because my quarterback has a bye week 7. I have Kelsey at tight end. You can't really upgrade at tight end if you have Kelsey, then can you?
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, that's rough, man. I wish you luck. I would just be exploring 2-for-1 trades all the next 24 hours. That would be my goal. X Diamond, half PPR. I have Josh Allen and was proposed Diggs and Gaskin for Kareem Hunt and Devontae Booker. Do I accept?
Josh Allen.
Devontae Booker is pretty temporary.
Yeah, I don't think Devontae Booker will last long, so I don't think I'm loving that right now.
Diggs and Gaskin. I think I would stick with Diggs and Gaskin
as well.
Especially because you have Josh Allen, you want that stack.
Yeah.
Water. What's up, Water? Not even dog water, just water.
Good old H2O.
Shout out to Water. Shout out to H2O.
Like,
we could die. We could die without water. That is the most essential thing in life, right? Except for love.
It probably has to be the most popular person in our chat ever. Is Water.
Yeah. Shout out to Water. You've got a big reputation around the world. Anyway, your question is who wins this trade? Woods for Julio and James Conner. I would prefer the Woods side.
Yes.
I know James Conner looks good right now, but he's someone that I am looking to get off my roster as soon as possible for any sort of value. And the reason is because I've hounded this on our podcast this week and other videos. James Conner, he has 57.5 points in a PPR format. 30 of those points come from touchdowns. It's not sustainable. It's not someone I want on my team long term. So I would lean Woods. What about you?
I agree. Woods.
Okay. Ryan says, I traded CeeDee Lamb and Khalil Herbert for Terry. Did I win? I think you did. Khalil Herbert's probably going to have a couple good weeks, but it might actually only be one good week. This might be the absolute peak time to trade Khalil Herbert. So I'm okay with that. Definitely. T. Higgins or Jacoby?
This week?
Yeah. I'm assuming that's this week.
I'm still going Jacoby.
You're going Jacoby, really?
I mean, the Lions and I think the Lions and Cowboys are probably back to back and giving up points to wide receivers. Cowboys actually gave up more points to wide receivers than the Lions.
Sorry. I'm gonna go back to the so the reason I'm leaning T is who has a better chance to get into the end zone.
End zone, yeah. I hear you.
You know what I mean?
I
love Jacoby. He just has never scored a receiving touchdown in his career.
I guess I don't want my player to be touchdown dependent. I'd rather have my player have the targets. Where
I get that. I would lean T because I think he has a better chance at a touchdown. But Jacoby might be the safer play because of targets.
Yeah. Evening guys.
So maybe just quickly to recap that. Maybe for you need to ask yourself: do I need a high upside play in T, or do I need a safe floor in Jacoby? And then you move forward there.
Evening, guys. Gaskin or Javonte Williams PPR? We're going to go Javonte Williams. Yeah. Amari Cooper or Pittman Jr. Many thanks.
It's what's crazy is Gaskin could come out and put up a top 10 week.
I'm hoping that happens.
I think I actually would lean Gaskin.
And then Cooper.
I think I would lean Gaskin.
Okay, I'm going Javonte still. Cooper or Pittman? Cooper plays Patriots and Pittman plays the Texans.
I think I would go. I think you have to start Amari.
I think
Michael Pittman's been great, but I think you still have to start Amari Cooper.
I think so as well. I think Cooper just feels more safe to me.
Could there be a scenario where Amari Cooper is eliminated from the game plan because of what the Patriots want to do defensively?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Gator fans.
By the way, Tony, I just wanted to say quickly, we could be very wrong on this one because all these options are very, very close. But if it was us in our leagues, I would be rocking with Gaskin. He would be rocking with Javonte, and then we would both go Amari. Gator says, just got asked by the commissioner in my league who I want for Taylor. Which RBs would you have to get back to give him up? I wouldn't actually be moving Jonathan Taylor right now, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, the rest of the season schedule looks fantastic, and looks like he's going to go on a little bit of a streak here. You don't want to give that up right now.
No, definitely not. I mean, let's have a look at his schedule rest of season. I'm just trying to pull him up here. Mm-hmm. Where is he? Here he is. And by the way, he's the clear guy. No one's getting any touches except for Jonathan Taylor. It's, there are 2 or 3 touches here. All right, so his next games, right? Houston, Tennessee, Jets, Jacksonville, Houston again in week 13. It's too good to trade away right now, in my opinion.
I agree. Completely agree. Here we go. Paul Miller. I have to pick 2 wide receivers out of these 3: Cooks, Higgins, and Emmanuel Sanders. I'm going Sanders, and who does Cooks play? That's a question.
I wouldn't start Brandon Cooks at this point. So I would go Higgins and Sanders.
I'm interested in who he plays. He's playing the Colts.
Yeah, I would go Higgins and Sanders if it was me. I don't trust Cooks without Tyrod at this point. Crazy, Davis Mills went off last week.
Yeah, he
wasn't
did great.
Brandon Cooks though.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was what's his face?
I don't know.
No name.
All right, Higgins and Emmanuel. Those are 2 guys. Ryan, air more important than water. True.
That's true. Hey, you got something, but there's no username air yet. I love
AB.
it. By the way, this just reminded me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, I can't say that. I actually can't say that on the stream. Never mind. Um, I'll tell you afterwards.
I'm interested.
Sorry, it's just something I can't actually say, but it reminded me of air. By the way, has anyone watched season 3 of You? It
Not
just
yet.
came out, and
Not
me
yet.
and
Have
my
you
wife
watched it? Don't watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
we binged it all already.
Don't tell me. Is it great?
I don't want to ruin anything for you.
Okay, that means okay. Don't say anything.
No, it's not bad. I just don't want to ruin anything for you. Um, so much up in the air right now. AB and Lamb for Hopkins, McLaurin. That's difficult, man. I don't think I would make that trade. I would stick with AB and Lamb. If you're gonna move AB and Lamb, you need to get like a true alpha, like a Javonte. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm sticking AB and Lamb as well. I think
Maybe
Hopkins is
you
just
look
a
to
question.
upgrade at running back instead. Get yourself an Eckler, a Najee. That's tough, but I wouldn't.
Mm. Christian, I think
What are
Christian.
some trades for what?
What are some trades I can do for Gibson?
Gibson. For Gibson? Um, that's a little bit harder, Christian. I'll just tell you why. Like when people come on and ask us, like, "Hey, who do I give away to get this player?" That you really shouldn't be asking us. You should be asking the owner of that player in your league because it doesn't actually matter what we think. It matters what they think. They could see different players on your team differently to us, and they could value Gibson differently to us. It's like
Yeah, like for me,
going
like
to Sonic and saying, "What? How many drink combinations do you have? Millions. There's millions. Same with
million.
trades. There's so many different combinations that you could do to get a player. So that actually starts with the owner. You got to ask the owner, and then if there's a trade that's presented, we'd be happy to help on the stream to tell you if it's something that we'd be okay with. Hope that makes sense.
Alex.
Yeah.
Sorry. Pick 2: Claypool, Kadarius Toney, and Chuba Hubbard. I think I'm going Claypool and Kadarius.
I think I'm going Claypool and Chuba. I've been consistently picking Chuba over Tony this week. I think Tony has a higher floor, but a higher ceiling, but I think Chuba has a higher floor. He's going to get more guaranteed touches.
Okay, Paul Miller. I also have Schultz and Herbert on my bench. I have a flex spot open and wide receiver spot open. I play Evans in my wide receiver 1. Well,
Yeah.
I have to pick 2 out of these 3. Cooks, Higgins. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe the question is, do I flex Schultz over one of those guys? Maybe that's what you're asking, and I wouldn't do that.
I'm happy. I'm happy to still keep those.
Yeah. Keenan Fleming says McKinnon or Felton. Oh, my guy, Keenan. You are down bad, my dude.
I'm
What?
going McKinnon, not Felton.
I think I'm going McKinnon as well, but
I think they will utilize him a lot more compared to Felton. I think they have too many backs in that backfield that they will just use some random to come out of nowhere.
it's actually unpredictable, man. I'm sorry, but that sucks.
Okay.
Brian, I traded JT for DeAndre Swift and Pittman 2 weeks ago. That was a dub, or was that a dub or an L? I think that's still going to work out nice for you. You know, DeAndre Swift and Michael Pittman. I still think Michael Pittman has top 20 upside rest of the way. So
it's good.
I'm cool with it. I can't believe I'm asking this, but would you drop Allen Robinson for Mooney? Jeez, man.
I just still the name value is just too high.
Yeah.
Once Allen Robinson goes off one game, if or when he goes off and he has a game that's over, 15 points, shit, Allen Robinson's back. Everyone's going for waiver wires just in case because we know the potential of what Allen Robinson can do. So, I mean, great guy. I mean, great friend of the show. We had a conversation. I think he'll bounce back. Not jokes. I actually don't think so. But I will still keep him. I will keep him. I will still keep him. Do not drop him for Mooney, in my personal opinion. I traded Darrell Williams and Tony for Monty. Good trade. I have Eckler, Jacobs, Moss, Mitchell, Adams, Moore, Chase, and Cooks.
Ooh.
I mean, I mean,
I don't know, man. I mean, Evan, it really depends on what Monty does rest of season. Like, what will,
mhm.
how long will it take him to come back? You know what I mean? We're not doctors, so could he come back by the time that they think he could? Maybe, but there's also no guarantee. Like, you know what's crazy about that situation, right? We know as much as they will tell the public. There's a real possibility this is a really bad injury for David Montgomery, and we don't know about it.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult trading for. I think Evan, you're only going to find out the answer to that in the next 5 weeks. If Tony keeps being the player that he's been, it's probably an L. But if Montgomery comes back and he looks great, then you probably won that trade. This is I guess this is the reason this is so hard.
Yeah.
Is because you've got so many unknowns. Darrell Williams, how long will CEH be out? We don't know. We have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
How long will David Montgomery be out? We have no idea. So that's hard.
Yeah, it definitely is hard. Timmy, I have Eckler, also have Kamara. I have made 7 trades and 20 waiver wire changes to get them. Yeah, I mean, sheesh.
Sounds like your team's absolutely stacked, bro.
Yeah, honestly.
At this point, just drop him, Tino. Jokes. I mean,
Twitch.
still try and find trades, but
yeah, let's go on Twitch. We forgot about Twitch here. Sorry. Let's see where we can. So I trade Deontay away and stay with Claypool. I'm happy. I'm more happy with Deontay than Claypool, but I know Zach will probably say the opposite potentially. I'm not sure.
No, I still prefer Deontay.
Okay, so let's.
I just think you might be able to get more value for Deontay than Claypool.
Mm-hmm. And he tells us his team. Our starters: Colin Murray, Gibson, Khalil, Deontay, Chase Claypool, Waller, T. Jalen Hurts, Damian Harris, Jacoby Myers, Tyler Higbee, Sterling Shepard, MC1 space.
Yeah.
Half PPR. Javonte Williams is also on my bench.
You got to try and get value for CMC at this point to Colombian. So I would say you find the player who's like 5-0, 4-1 in your league, and you hype up CMC. You sell him on the high. Hey, man, if you get CMC, you're going to win this league. Let's do a trade. Like, I need players. I'm in a bad position. And then you go out and get some elite players and play them straight away for CMC. That's what I would be doing. But I would be trying to keep Deontay, and I would be looking to trade Chase. But at the same time, I think you might be able to get more value for Deontay. So, if someone sends you Deontay for Keenan, yeah, you're taking that. You're taking the Keenan side. Keenan says, Chubb went out on me. SMH. I feel you, bro. You're not the only one. Alex Smook. Do I trade Jones if AJ Dillon keeps getting a lot of touches? I'm not worried about Aaron Jones, but what about you?
I mean, that's definitely interesting. I thought about that. I thought about Aaron Jones. I mean, I don't have Aaron Jones, but I thought about trading him, and then I saw his touches. Like, ooh, look at AJ Dillon. I was like, ooh, there's a trend going on there, and I don't like it. I'm still looking. It's not like a huge amount of targets that AJ Dillon is getting at the moment, but it's definitely something that could be progressing more and more throughout the year that I just don't like. So I'm actually staying away from Aaron Jones right now, but he could be a top 8 running back if he gets to work. So,
yeah, I'm still not worried about Aaron Jones. He's still hitting 70% of snaps. Mm-hmm. When you watch the games, like if you look at the fantasy stat lines, it's worrisome. But when you watch the games, Aaron Jones is still in on the important plays, and he's still been explosive. So I would still go Aaron Jones, but I definitely get the concern. I'm so comfortable with Aaron Jones personally.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Keen. Talk about down bad. I got Ben, Murray, McKinnon, Godwin, Rondo Moore, Seals, Sanders. Everyone else is hurt, bro. We have so many people there's one team in our league that every single person's hurt literally every single person on his team is hurt, and
he has like 6 players that could go to IR.
Yeah, and I'm just unlucky.
It is unlucky.
AB and Lamb, Coop, Zeke, or Jones. Any other suggestions for who I should target? Mahomes? Question mark. CMC? Question mark.
Yeah, I would say Cup, Zeke, Aaron Jones. See, I wouldn't go there. I still think Jones is a top 5, but there are worries around his workload, like Badaki said. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think you can get Mahomes for less than AB and Lamb. To be honest. if the Mahomes owner, for example, is weak at wide receiver, you could probably send your starting quarterback and AB and Lamb to get Mahomes back. So, you know, if you have Josh Allen or Kyler Murray, this is pointless. But Marquise Brown for Godwin.
No.
You prefer Godwin?
I still prefer Godwin, but Hollywood Brown has been going crazy.
The big question here is, what does Rashad Bateman look like? And I don't think we're going to get that answered this week, but he will play this week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm also,
he's going to be slowly worked in, but
I have the impression that I don't think Bateman is going to be taking a tremendous amount of targets from Hollywood. You know, I could be wrong, but that's just my gut feeling right now. But once again, it's still early. We haven't even seen him on the field. So let's see him on the field first, see how he plays with this offense.
I think it will, at minimum, dilute the target share for Hollywood Brown.
Maybe, yeah.
And you got to think, this is a guy we drafted in the first round.
Yeah, that's true.
We're gonna try and make him the alpha. That's what I would think management would want.
Which of these guys should I sit this week? Tony Pollard, Allen Robinson, Cole Beasley, Rashad Bateman. Allen Robinson?
You can't start Rashad Bateman yet.
I would take the shot on him more than Allen Robinson right now. That's how I feel.
I just don't know that. Is Rashad Bateman going to see more than 50% of snaps? I don't know.
Well, we don't know.
You know what I mean?
If Allen Robinson is on a snap count, then why not start Rashad Bateman?
Yeah, I don't think you can start Rashad yet. Personally, I wouldn't do it just because, he's coming off a serious injury. I think they're gonna first round pick. I think they're gonna slowly integrate him into the game plan. So, I'm more of a wait and see on Rashad Bateman.
Okay, pick one: Allen Robinson, Cole Beasley, or Hunter Henry. Have PPR. I think I'm going Cole. I don't like Hunter Henry and Allen Robinson. I feel I just don't.
That's Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs. I would go Henry Ruggs.
Okay.
I thought it was Hunter Henry as well, but it's Henry Ruggs.
Oh,
so
Henry Ruggs. Oh shit.
At any point, Henry Ruggs could score you 12 points with the touchdown.
Right.
It's the riskier play, but I would lean towards the upside of Ruggs.
Okay. Alex, what do I do? Or Paul Miller, Mark Andrews, can't forget him. Yeah, you can't forget that guy. I feel you. He's definitely part of that offense. What do I do with Kittle starting a 1-4 and looking to make a push? I need wide receivers. Who should I target? It's hard to target or make a trade for Kittle right now, in my personal opinion.
It's hard to trade him away and get value, right?
I mean, I have Kittle in multiple leagues. I've tried it already. Nobody wants to bite. He's already on IR. They know that he's missing time. They're giving me low balls. I'm seeing Christian Kirks. I'm seeing people that in AJ Greens. I see. Who else do I see? I mean, at the time,
disrespectful.
It was a Claypool at the time before Deontay was hurt. Or Juju was hurt. I just don't want that. I'd rather keep.
I'll tell you names that come to mind that I would be okay with that probably you can make happen, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts as well because you own him. Michael Pittman. This is assuming you have a Schultz, a Dawson, a Logan Thomas maybe as well who's coming back. You know what I mean? If you have an okay tight end to fill in. Michael Pittman, AJ Brown, Hollywood Brown.
I don't think anyone's going to trade those guys for Kittle right now. I've tried, and people just want too much. You can in your league.
I agree, but that's who I would be comfortable with is what I'm saying.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely agree with you.
Those are names that I would be comfortable with. I don't think you can get anything more. I mean, if you can get more, then great. Maybe Chase Claypool, Maybe you can get a Chase Claypool for. Is that too low, Kittle?
I don't know. We haven't seen what Chase can do at the moment, and if it's going to be consistent. I won't want to see that right now, but it all depends. It really depends.
Yeah, sitting at 1-4 is really tough because I would say, Alex, if I had any option, I would just hold.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm doing.
You can't do that at 1-4, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Swift.
You know what you do as well, Alex, is I would text the group chat and I would say, boys, I'm 1-4. I have George Kittle. I need a wide receiver too. Let's just see what happens. Text me if interested.
See what happens. Hey, good luck, brother. I really hope you get a trade, honestly. Swift for Dalvin, I would say no.
I would prefer Dalvin still. Mark Andrews or Schultz, especially with Bateman playing this week. I would still go Andrews.
Yeah, I'm still going Andrews.
Got to ride the hot hand.
I agree.
Pittman or Hubbard for a flex. Full PPR. I think I would lean Hubbard still.
Yeah, I'm leaning Hubbard still as well.
Oh, but Pittman plays Houston.
I mean, yeah, we said that last week with freaking everyone with the Patriots as well. So I'm going Hubbard here. I feel comfortable with Hubbard than Pittman. I mean,
I think I'm going Pittman.
Okay. Mark Andrews had that huge week last week. Yeah, absolutely. He definitely had a huge week and
massive and won a lot of people weeks and lost a lot of people weeks. Should I start Claypool or Mike Williams this week? You can't sit Mike Williams if he plays. No. I understand the concern, but if Mike Williams plays, this is a guy who could put 30 points up at any point. Love Claypool this week as well, but with the options. Twitch,
the Colombian, put a wide receiver along with CMC. Yeah. Should I trade Antonio Gibson, Javonte Williams, or Antonio Gibson and Khalil Herbert? Antonio Gibson and Khalil Herbert, I will be trading away, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Also feel like trading Jacoby Myers would be a good idea. He's very touchdown dependent. Jacoby Myers has never caught a touchdown.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. He's not touchdown dependent. He's been pretty reliable with targets. It's so crazy to say this, but Jacoby Myers, 3 years in the league, never caught a touchdown.
Yeah,
isn't that crazy?
Crazy beans, bro.
If he could just transform into Tyler Lockett somehow, because they're similar players.
Yeah, I definitely see that. I can definitely see that.
We'll see. Any last minute questions, guys, before we hop off here?
Got a couple here. Man, what are you hoping for this week?
For me?
Yeah.
I need James Robinson to continue to be a beast. I need Darrell Williams to return value because unfortunately Damian Williams got COVID. I need Tyler Boyd to give me something. Just something. I just need something, Tyler.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers or Laviska? Had to start one.
I'll go Jacoby. Are you asking for yourself?
Harris, what's good, brother? Yes, I am. Thank you for subscribing. I was asking for myself. I'm gonna toss up right now with Jacoby Myers and Laviska. Let me ask you this: Jacoby Myers or Sterling?
I would go Jacoby still because I don't know what Sterling looks like anymore.
Yeah, I'm going with Kadarius. I'm starting Jacoby. My starters right now: Jacoby Myers, DK, and Kadarius Toney with Roberto Woods.
You know what would be so frustrating for you is if Sterling took over again.
I don't think Sterling is gonna. You know why? Because everyone's on a snap count. So far, the trend with the Giants, you're hurt, you come back. All right, guys, we're gonna ease you back in. Like, my guy, give him 100%. So I believe in Toney. He's gonna come in and play, but. I mean,
Barkley for Mixon. This is a question we just got. Rest of season, who would you rather have, Barkley or Mixon? I would say Mixon.
I would say Mixon as well.
I mean, who knows how long that injury? There's no way that's a 1 or 2 week injury, in my opinion.
We haven't heard anything, so they're keeping everything hush hush. So we got to see.
Brandon Cooks or Marvin Jones in the flex.
Marvin Jones.
I would go Marvin.
Trade Diggs for Higgins and Mark Andrews. I don't think I would do that. I personally would not do that. I don't like it.
No. It's interesting. I think the reason I'm hesitant is because of Higgins. I love Higgins. I just don't know what that offense is going to look like right now. If instead of Higgins, it was like a Robert Woods or A.J. Brown. And I also think if you're trading Diggs away, you're trading him at his lowest value right now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. On Twitch, who's a better star between Khalil Herbert and Javonte Williams? Javonte Williams. I think we can both agree on that. That's really easy on Twitch. From the Colombian.
Do you think? Are we 100% Javonte?
I'm 100% Javonte. I truly believe Javonte will have a better game.
Khalil's against Green Bay.
Yeah. Hey, Adam, thank you so much for following there on Twitch.
I'm nervous about answering that one because I have no idea what Khalil looks like. So yeah, I would lean Javonte, but it wouldn't surprise me if Khalil had the better week. I would lean Javonte.
Okay. Okay.
I think there's a higher chance that Khalil has like 15 carries for like 70 yards and no targets.
Okay.
So like he could give you 7 points. Whereas Javonte, I think his floor is 10 this week.
Let me just go through these questions here. Tamia, our Twitch is in our description, but it's just Fantasyland Football. If you just type that in Twitch, if you want really fast. You actually have a question. I offer Zeke, Najee, Adams, Cooper Cup, and King. Wow, you offer all that? I'm not gonna offer for a QB yet because I have Herbert and I could just pick one up, playing him one week and drop him. Right.
You're in a tough position, but I would say keep trying the 2-for-1s. If it doesn't, I'd choose MT to drop. I just don't want to do that. Yeah. Who is your breakout player this week? I think breakout or start, because I think this is the beginning of Javonte Williams' breakout.
Yeah, that is. I definitely agree with the Javonte Williams. I'm hoping. I mean, I'm not starting him, which is feels wrong because I think he's playing Miami, and Xavier Howard is out and he's not playing. I think I really believe Laviska can find the end zone, hopefully twice. I think Trevor Lawrence is gonna go and have a shootout. I mean, unless James Robinson, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I just hope that he has a good game.
I don't consider this a breakout, but I would consider it a really good week from Ricky Seals. Is what I was going to say. Ricky Seals. I think he's going to have a 15-point, maybe 20-point week. You guys need to watch Alice in Borderlands on Netflix.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, we got another question. Who are your sleepers this week? So we had breakouts and who are your sleepers? Ricky Seals is probably a sleeper. When you consider.
I think J.D. McKissic
a relatively unknown name.
I think J.D. McKissic could be a sleeper. In my eyes, because this could be a high-scoring game, and I think they could just fade Gibson.
I would say Marvin Jones is and Rondell Moore fit that description for me as well. Marvin Jones, people are worried about him. I'm not. I still think he's going to be good. I'm definitely confused about how they're utilizing him, but I would say Marvin. I like the Laviska one as well. Rondell Moore could have a big week. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he might be the definition of a sleeper this week. Will the words match what they do? So yeah,
that's all I can think of right there. Let's go on Twitch really fast. Who is a better start? By Adam. Who's a better start? AJ Dillon, Latavius Murray, James Conner, or Jamal Williams? I think out of all those guys, I think Jamal Williams has the safest floor. James Conner probably has the highest floor with getting those touchdowns.
I just don't want to start him this week.
Yeah, exactly. You just don't want to start any of those guys. But I think it's Jamal Williams.
I actually think I would go Latavius though.
Against the Chargers. I'm going Jamal. I'm more comfortable with Jamal.
It is Jamal. Ryan, what's Alice in Borderlands? What is that? What's the vibe around it? Michael Pittman, Kadarius Toney, or Dawson Knox at flex. Love Dawson, but I would choose a wide receiver over him personally. I would go Michael Pittman against Houston.
Okay.
What about you?
I mean, I love Dawson too. I'm going to continue the trend with Kadarius. I like Kadarius this week.
Okay. I would lean towards Michael Pittman against Houston. I love Kadarius, but I'm not sure what Sterling's role looks like now. Kadarius still be valuable, but what if those targets instead of 13 are now like 5 to 7? I
actually don't think so. I truly believe Kadarius Toney is going to continue that role.
I get that. We just don't know that for sure.
Exactly, yet. And that's the thing. But that's the risk I'm willing to take this week. Gibson and Claypool for Barkley. Yeah, I'll do that. I like Gibson. Claypool.
Wait. I think they mean they're getting Barkley, which would be a big no.
Yeah, we don't want Barkley.
I wouldn't even do Antonio Gibson for Barkley straight up. I would prefer Gibson because of the injury.
Should I start Heineke or Dak this week? Heineke has a better matchup. I'm doing Dak Prescott. You have to start. We have a thing here. Start your stars. Don't overthink it. Dak Prescott is a star. You're starting him.
Yeah, and by the way, Heineke's a great start, but he can't sit Dak Prescott.
Doritos, start Hilton or Tony. It's Tony. Look, let's just get out the way. If you have T.Y. Hilton, do not start T.Y. Hilton. Period.
Not yet. Okay? No, we need to see it first. You can't start T.Y. Hilton yet.
Trade Gronk or hold out until he returns. I mean, you can. I mean, I don't know what the value you can get for Gronk right now, unless somebody is really still really high on Gronk. So I would say trade him away and see what you can get in return. Would you trade away? I would be comfortable having a Dalton Schultz right now. I would be trade Gronk away, get a Dalton Schultz and a piece, maybe a Lavishka, a Marvin Jones, depending on how you feel. I think that's a lot. A Kadarius Toney, these low end wide receivers that you can get right now and trade away.
He's probably the biggest unknown.
Gronk.
Yeah. Like I think people are.
This is name value sake. People love Gronk. He's Gronk and Tom Brady. Gronk and Tom Brady. Upgrade in an area that you need help in. I would say.
Depends on what tight end you have, though. Like, if you don't have a reliable tight end and you can put Gronk on your IR, I might just hold on to him unless you are like you're down bad, like you're 1-4 or something. What's up, Zalalam? Should I start Mike Williams or D Hop this week? Sheesh, my guy, that's what a position to be in. I think I would go Mike Williams.
Yeah, I'm going Mikey.
But can you sit DeAndre Hopkins?
You can't sit both of those guys, in my opinion. So,
God damn, that is tough, man. Unless you're in like an 8-man league, I'd be looking to trade one of those guys to improve in a different area.
Yeah,
I think I would go Mike Williams, but it's really close. Kamara out, so for RB2, Herbert or McKinnon, got to go Herbert. Herbert's got much more guaranteed touches than Jet McKinnon. I think Darrell Williams leads that backfield, and Herbert is playing the Packers. So that one's relatively easy for me. It's a show where people are transported into a death game world. It's live action. Interesting. Sounds like Squid Game. Maybe it's the original Squid Game.
Maybe it is. Who knows? Do I hold on to AJ Brown or do I trade? I
would hold.
I'm holding as well.
You have him though.
I have him, and I don't know. I'm seeing a lot. At the moment, I'm seeing a lot of reports that I don't like, but I need to see this game.
What are those reports?
Reports that he's going to be limited for a very long time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So like, I just don't know if I should. I'm still holding because they say he's going to be limited, and then next minute, but AJ
that hamstring is so hard to know. Hey.
Yeah, and he didn't play half of that game last week because they didn't need him. So it's hard. It's hard. Like if they continue running with Derrick Henry and he goes off, then maybe he can be playing. He doesn't have to play the whole time. And
let's get logistic here then. AJ Brown or
Hollywood.
Hollywood? I would do Hollywood, but I don't know about you.
I mean, this is a trade that I keep getting all the time. I see AJ Brown, Hollywood. I see AJ Brown, and I got a Claypool once.
You know what's hard is like, do you do that trade though? Because
that's what I'm saying.
At this point, you're trading AJ at his lowest value. That's what we expect. But with the reports that you're hearing that he might be limited from now on out, that's worrisome.
He's going to be limited from what I heard until week 10.
Jesus. Okay, well, how about AJ Brown or Robert Woods?
Robert Woods.
How about AJ Brown or Calvin? I mean, people are worried about Calvin. We would both say Calvin, right?
I'm saying Calvin, yeah.
What about Deebo Samuel or AJ Brown?
I just don't trust the quarterback. Deebo has,
but it's pretty clear that it's not going to be Trey.
Yeah, but if Jimmy gets hurt again, like, do I trust Trey? Like last week,
right?
Deebo only got a touchdown because it was a jet sweep.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
But to be fair, that they utilize him that way. Anyway, I think I would hold AJ unless you get decent value. Well, like I wouldn't be afraid to trade him if you get those offers. Should I trade Hawkinson for Dawson Knox? I get Knox. That's impossible to know the answer to that question, in my opinion. Is TJ going to come back? Are they going to utilize him like they did the first half of the season?
Yeah.
Or is this Knox train going to continue?
It's definitely hard to say. So I'm holding on to TJ. Should I start Josh Jacobs or Moss? I'm starting Moss.
I think I would go Moss.
JJ is playing the Broncos, and it's not a good matchup. The defense is good.
It's close, but I would go Moss.
Mm-hmm. Ryan says it's better than Squid Game, in my opinion. Okay,
Ooh.
I mean we could be.
Okay, I'm gonna have to actually note down what that name of that show is then.
Grizzly Panther. Grizzly Panther. Chris Carson and Nick Chubb are out. So what RBs should I look into getting on waiver wires? Khalil Herbert, Jerick McKinnon, Damian.
McKinnon, I'm more worried about. I'm 100% on board the Khalil Herbert one.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's going to be Darrell Williams, but
Yeah, you can get
could be wrong.
You can get Darrell Williams. I think.
How about J.D. McKissick, Alex Collins?
Those guys should be on waivers.
Maybe Hines as a desperation against Houston.
It all depends on your league. You know, if you're like an 8-man league and have running backs out there, then there could be a lot better running backs available. But
maybe Kenyon Drake. You just take a chance that they change their game plan. Think about it. Kenyon Drake's been paid a lot of money to do nothing. Like they even used Peyton Barber over the kid. You know, that's rough though. I'm sorry you're in that position.
Let's see. Who is the better pickup? Johnson? I'm assuming David Johnson or Felton since Chubb went down, or is it even
I think
worse?
that's the Johnson that's on the Browns roster.
The Browns? Okay. Or is it worth it the way Kareem Hunt has been smashing past couple weeks? You know, I looked into this. I thought
Dearness Johnson is his name.
Yeah.
And Demetric Felton. I think Felton's the better pickup.
What about you? If you look into it, if I'm not mistaken, I could be mixing it up in my head. When I looked into Felton, he wasn't getting the work.
Well, none of them are going to get work with Chubb and Hunt there. Like now's the week we find out who is that guy.
Let me just.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the way, we just got a report that Mike Williams is expected to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would try and they're both shots in the dark, but I would pick up Felton.
Okay. I love
Marquise
Brown, but I trade him away to get what I have. Started my flex: Gesicki, Marvin Jones, or Amon-Ra St. Brown. Marvin Jones, I think we'll both say.
Gotta go. Yeah, gotta go Marvin.
This guy has Woods, Ridley, and Johnson. Should I use Lamb and AB for these guys, or just Josh Jacobs, AJ Brown, Higgins, and A-Rob?
I'm confused by the question.
So the guy that he's trying to trade has Robert Woods, Calvin Ridley, and Johnson, which is I'm saying Deontay Johnson. Should I use CeeDee Lamb and Antonio Brown for these guys, or just Josh Jacobs, AJ Brown, Higgins? I would try Josh Jacobs, Higgins, and A-Rob only to get one of those guys to see. Actually do a Josh Jacobs, Higgins, and A-Rob and throw all those guys in and see. Hey, out of those three wide receivers, who you gonna give me? I would be happy with any of those three wide receivers to get them, in my opinion.
That's tough, man.
It could be.
I don't think you mess around with that trade, in my opinion, but
we'll see.
It's just difficult, really messy.
Godwin for Claypool.
AB and Lamb for JT.
Okay.
Is something I would do.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah,
I like that.
Would do that.
Godwin for Claypool, no. I wouldn't do that.
I still like Godwin rest of the season, but Claypool's going to be great.
Mm-hmm. Also, Train to Busan is amazing zombie movie.
I've heard about that one. We got some questions on Twitch. I think we missed.
Okay, let's see. We saw Adams. We answered his question. Is the Columbia trade away?
Who's a better start? We already did that, right?
Yeah. The Colombian trade away CMC and Claypool and get Mixon and Justin Jefferson. I like that. Yeah, do that.
Hell yeah. That's an absolute yes.
All love symbol like Scar. Symbol like Scar.
Ooh. Simba like Scar. That's funny. By the way, can we talk about how terrible the live action Lion King was?
Yeah.
I watched that the day after I got married.
Lucky.
Because we were going on a plane. It's terrible. Any last minute question, guys? This has been fun. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. We gained quite a few subscribers. So,
would you actually do that?
Any last minute questions? Happy to answer.
Let me actually. I'm actually a genuine question.
You're gonna ask me advice on your starting lineup?
No, I'm actually advice on a trade. Okay.
Okay.
And this is so that people can understand, right? I have AJ Brown, and I've been trying to acquire Daniel Jones on the low for the lowest because we're in a 2 quarterback
This is
league.
super flex, right?
Super flex. So I am acquiring Daniel Jones, Hollywood Brown, and he's going to throw in Kirk Cousins, which I don't want. I think I might try and get Latavius Murray for Jared Goff and A.J. Brown.
Hey, you got me really confused about what sides of the trade there is.
I am receiving Daniel Jones, Hollywood Brown, either Christian Kirk or Latavius Murray. And I am sending away Jared Goff and A.J. Brown.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Can you message that to me on Facebook so I can actually look at it? It's so hard to like, you know what I mean, hear it. It's easier to actually look at it.
I'm gonna text it to you on the phone.
Okay. Mark Hale says, "What's up, my guys? I may have a situation. I had Najee Harris put Claypool, Claypool. Had Eckler traded for Keenan Allen. Should I move Claypool? I'm really confused, Mark. I had Najee Harris.
I have Najee Harris. Claypool had Austin Eckler traded for Keenan Allen. Should I move Claypool? So he traded for Claypool, but he traded had Najee Harris.
I'm struggling to understand. Sorry, Mark. Could you comment that again? Well, I'm confused by the exact question. I really want to help you out, though. Tyler, what's up, my guy? Rookie wide receiver question. Who do you feel has a better sneaky pickup, St. Brown or Rashad Bateman? St. Brown feels more necessary to his offense
right now,
but Rashad Bateman is the better talent.
Correct.
So I would go Bateman still.
Aiden, start or sit Chuba? I think you start him if you don't have any other options. I think he has a safe floor right now.
24 option for sure.
A.B. Lamb and Josh Jacobs for JT and pick one. Johnson, Woods, Ridley. I think I like Deontay Johnson because I think he is going to
go Ridley.
I think he's going to get a lot of targets, but I do like Ridley. I think they're both hand in hand.
All right, so I'm looking at your trade now. So you get Daniel Jones, Hollywood, Kirk for Goff and A.J. Brown. Has Goff been bad as a super flex quarterback?
I haven't played him since. I also have Jameis, and like the thing is, like, am I really going to start Daniel Jones because I actually have I have Najee, Gibson, and Swift. I'm never going to start Kirk or Murray. So like that's just a throwaway piece. So I'm essentially I'm upgrading in quarterback, but essentially downgrading in wide receiver. But Hollywood Brown has been doing his thing.
I think it all depends on if you actually believe in Daniel Jones going forward.
Which I do. My thing
is that because that's the only unknown here is Daniel Jones actually a better super flex quarterback than Jared Goff?
I think my thing
that's the question.
I believe in AJ Brown more than Hollywood. Even if he's limited until week 10. I still rather have AJ Brown.
So maybe the question is it worth taking the risk of Daniel Jones to lose AJ Brown? And maybe the answer is no.
The real question is, am I ever going to start AJ Brown? Am I ever going to start Daniel Jones?
Well, if you don't even know if you're going to start Daniel Jones, then no, it's not worth it. Like the reason you make that trade is I know I'm going to start him. Do you know what I mean?
This will be my lineup though. Sorry, we'll talk about it later. Let's see what everyone says. Mark.
Rams or Bengals? We go Rams.
Oh, pick up.
Concerned with RB and wide receiver on the same team. I have a situation. I had Najee Harris, picked up Claypool, had Eckler, traded for Keenan Allen. Should I move Claypool? Oh, man. I wish you came to us before you made that move with
Keenan Allen. Eckler.
Yeah, Eckler. He's been a my guy all year. That sucks. But so the situation is he's asking if he should move Claypool because he doesn't want Najee and Claypool who are on the same team. Yeah. I'm in a similar position in the league. I have Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler on my team. And I have been exploring trades for Keenan, but the right one hasn't come. People are trying to lowball me, right? So I would say this is a good week to actually have both Najee and Claypool. Could be wrong, but it feels like a week that they could both do really well. So maybe you wait and then you trade Claypool next week. You're obviously risking that he might not have a good game and his value is lower. But what do you think?
Epic, thank you so much for subscribing. I completely agree. I think that's probably the best way to go, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's definitely not. I'll say this, Mark. It's not ideal. If the team goes down in flames, then so is your week. So it really depends on what you get back.
Okay.
I had Alvin Kamara, but he's on a bye, so I picked up Chuba because CMC's not playing.
That's great.
It's a good start.
Yeah. No worries.
Got you, Tamian.
Yeah, all love. Thomas, next week I'm on a bye. I'm getting Judy back and need a quarterback. Who do you prefer? Tyrod Taylor, Tua, Matty Ice, or Mac Jones?
Matty Ice.
Yeah, Matty Ice. You have to get Matty Ice.
It's not good. None of them are good, but
yeah. Drums. Should I trade Mixon and Lockett for Elliott? I would do that. I would get a little. I would get a little wide receiver in there, like a low end wide receiver. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
I think you got to get a wide receiver back in that.
Maybe
a Kadarius Toney, and Emmanuel Sanders, Marvin Jones,
something. But I do like that trade.
I'm okay with it though. Yeah.
My waiver wire, Grizz Panther. My waiver wire options because Chubb and Carson are out. McKissick, Collins, Latavius, Pollard, McKinnon. Pick up J.D. McKissick and pick Alex Collins. Or Pollard's there as well.
I still trust the workload of McKissick and Collins though. Okay. Pollard. What's Pollard done?
I like Pollard in a long-term role just in case anything happens. So you pick him up and he should definitely be rostered in my opinion. But it looks like you could be in like an 8-man league.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe it is Pollard and Collins.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue is McKissick is so unknown. I mean, last week completely irrelevant. But the thought is that this is a shootout with Kansas City.
Yeah.
What do you do? I don't know.
I think I'm going Collins, knowing what he can do. If you need to win right now,
the guaranteed touches.
You're going Collins and Pollard. McKissick it could be a long shot depending on what happens.
Mark Hall says, agree. Thinks I'm a huge fantasy football fan and have never seen you guys. Love the content. Keep it going. Appreciate that, Mark.
All love, brother.
Yeah, we've been doing this about a year now, and got a nice little community growing.
Thank you, brother.
We also have a podcast, if you guys don't know, available on all platforms worldwide. It's called Fantasyland Football. We post, 2-3 podcasts a week and do a bunch of content here. We also have a Discord. If you want a nice community to kind of just drop questions by, there's Start Sick channel there. There's Trade channel, general, just for like the community. We post content in there. So Discord link is in our description of this live stream. Tommy says Taylor Heineke. I meant next week I'm on bye. Oh, I would go Taylor Heineke then.
I still like Matty Ice.
I would choose Taylor. I mean, Taylor's got this guy could rush for 50 yards in any game. He's been more active as well on the ground. And I don't think that Fitzpatrick's going to get the job when he comes back. I could be wrong. That's the worry. But for 1 week, you could easily replace Heineke if he gets... They play Green Bay next week. Not an amazing offense. The defense is going to give up a ton of points to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. So I would go Heineke. He's actually been so good, except for last week against a very good Saints defense. So that's what I would do.
Who we have? Do I package Kittle with Julio or Aaron Jones? Either or. See what happens. See what you can get.
I would package Kittle with Julio. I mean, you ideally don't want to get rid of Aaron Jones, but it depends on who you get. You're right.
Yeah, see what happens. Drums, I get Galladay and Tim Patrick. I got Galladay and Tim Patrick on my bench. What was your question earlier?
Yeah, Galladay and Tim Patrick. I mean, who knows what Patrick looks like when Judy's back, and Galladay just looks like he's in shambles.
Yeah.
So I still think you need a wide receiver, a competent wide receiver back. And by the way, let's not undervalue Mixon. I actually would keep Mixon and Lockett, to be honest. The only reason Mixon didn't get the full workload last week because of the ankle. You need another wide receiver back. I don't think you can do that 2 for 1. You need a competent wide receiver back. And I would add in Tim Patrick or Galladay to get a competent wide receiver. Throw in Tim Patrick. That way you can get a Claypool in return or someone around there. Eckler for Najee Harris and Cooks. I need a wide receiver bad. I just don't.
I don't like that. I don't like the idea. I would not do that.
No.
I wouldn't do it.
I mean, Brandon Cooks is up and he's down. He's hot. He's cold. He's not someone I would be wanting to trust at this point.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming through. Aiden, thoughts on Josh Allen and he's the best QB full PPR this year? Yeah, I think he's great so far. I don't know if he's the best quarterback, but he is the best so far. I mean, he's doing great. I mean,
it's really a toss up between Brady, Murray, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Really?
yeah.
Am I missing someone? Maybe.
No, I think that's good. I like all those guys. I think it is a toss up. Josh Allen has been playing great though. You cannot
so good.
Doubt that. Thomas, should I get rid of either Zeke, Gibson, Keenan Allen, or Godwin? I think the person that I would get rid of if I had to would probably be Godwin. I like all those guys I'm keeping. Herbert is the best PPR. Herbert's there as well. Yeah, we didn't say that.
By the way, I would keep Godwin. Just to throw that in, I think his value is low right now, but I still think he's going to be reliable. So I think you agree as well that you would keep Godwin unless there's a good value in return.
Oh, absolutely. If I had to trade any one of these guys, it'd probably be trading Godwin.
Yeah.
I think that's what I said. JT86, thank you so much for subscribing, brother. All love. Where are we here? Just Elliott always punches into the end zone. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, they get it. Mixon's gonna get some touchdowns coming in here.
Aiden,
Herbert's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Should I get worried about Stephon Diggs underperforming so far this year? I know he's good, but Allen has other weapons now. I'm still going with Stephon Diggs. I'm not worried. I think you have to get him. I think you have to pick an super chat. All love, brother.
But I'll just quickly say on that, like, I'm not worried about him, but his upside is slightly capped from what it was last year with the options, but not worried. Thanks so much for the super chat.
Yeah, man, this is huge. Thank you, brother. Pick two flex, full PPR. Hawkinson, Pittman, Waddle, and Javonte Williams.
Pick 2 flex and full PPR.
Okay.
It's Pittman for me, and it's Javonte Williams.
And that's exactly where I was going. I'm going Pittman and Javonte Williams. I think Pittman has a great matchup against the 49ers. Oh, no, sorry, that's week 7. Sorry.
I'll just quickly say something as well with this question. I think Waddle's probably the higher upside play than Javonte. You just have to ask yourself if you trust him yet. You know, like, because there's a real chance that Waddle comes out and puts up 20 points, but there's also a greater chance that he's under 5 or under 8.
Yeah.
So I think Javonte's a safer play. For me, Pittman, no question, is the start there, but it's between Waddle and Javonte, and I think I would lean Javonte Williams. I think he has a higher chance to get into the end zone.
Yeah, I do believe he has a higher chance to get into the end zone. I just don't trust Waddle right now. I think when Tua back, I think I'll be a lot more comfortable with
Tua is back this week.
Confirmed, 100%.
He's confirmed back. He will play. But that's what I'm saying. I'm still playing the wait and see approach with Waddle at this point.
Should I do Gibson and Claypool for Saquon and Pittman? I'm 5-0. I still wouldn't do that trade.
No.
I'm still keeping Gibson and Claypool. So
you feel better about Gibson now?
I still don't, but I'm not doing it for Saquon.
Okay.
I genuinely would rather have a Gibson. I would rather have a Darrell than Gibson. I would rather have a. I mean, I can name off a list of names really fast if you like. I would rather have a Darrell, a Jonathan Taylor, a Joe Mixon. Who can I say? I would actually do James Robinson, Aaron Jones. I still rather have those. I'm just.
I think that's up for debate.
Yeah.
I hope people, because there was a lot of people freaking out about Gibson, and I was saying this for weeks. Calm down. The touchdowns are going to come, and it's something that you can, I think, project with Gibson. Is touchdowns will follow him, and he's been good. I feel comfortable with him. I wish the league that you had Gibson, I didn't have those. It sounds weird because like I have Eckler and Jones, so I'm like I can't move to get Gibson because I believe in those guys so much and I already have a great wide receiver core. I just wish there was an area where we could trade, but I still like Gibson going forward.
Yeah.
Tommy, I actually don't think so. I think Diggs is just excited that he's on a Super Bowl contending team.
He loves that team, bro. I think he's super passionate about that team. Kieran Hawkinson got to stop being a blocker for me. Otherwise, I overpaid. Yeah, I think so as well.
It'll get better. I do imagine it getting better for Hawkinson.
VCG, all love for subscribing, brother.
Something to know, Taylor Decker is back, their left tackle.
But
so
they lost.
It could help.
They lost Ranwalk, whatever his name is. He's off. Yeah,
you always say that.
I don't know. He's out for the season, bro.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow, that's terrible.
He's out for the season.
I think he. Yeah, you're right. He is out for the season. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But to be fair, like a tight end's only gonna help if like it's a left or right tackle.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like he can't help when the center goes down.
I think they will shuffle now.
I agree they'll shuffle, but do you know what I mean? Like I don't know that Hawkinson could help them losing Ragnow.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I got Claypool. I just got Claypool in a trade, and that's good. I had Gronk, Aiden. I had Gronk, but when he got hurt, I picked up Dalton Schultz. Thoughts on him? Do you think he's going to continue? I personally believe he's going to continue to be consistent. It's clear that they want to do this. It's been 3 + 4 weeks. I think there was only 1 week he did bad, and I think it was 8 points, I think it was 8 or 2 points, something like that. It's a big difference. But I trust in Schultz personally. I know Zack still has a feeling with Schultz.
My issue is, I just don't think CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper are going to be as irrelevant as they've been. Like Schultz is going to be the odd man out, on different weeks when you rely on him. I still think that's going to be the case.
Thanks, Mark. Really appreciate the super chat, brother.
Oh wow, $10, Mark. Yeah. Jeez, I appreciate that, man. That's actually very, very kind of you. We should answer this straight away.
Yeah, absolutely. Who should I start? Need 2 running back, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. Collins, Eckler, Austin Harris, Najee. Oh, wait, sorry.
Collins. I think he meant Alex Collins.
Yeah, Alex Collins, Austin Eckler, Najee Harris, Latavius Swift, DeAndre Allen. Wow, this is a lot of people.
He went last names and then first names.
Yeah, last name and then first names.
I thought it was like options.
Yeah, I thought I got confused there for a second. Okay, let's start off with running backs. Okay,
running backs easy, right?
Yeah, Austin
Eckler and Najee.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now in wide receiver, I see Keenan Allen, Chase, Jamar Chase, and Chase Claypool or more. I think I would have to go.
I would go Keenan and Jamar.
Yeah, I'm seeing Keenan and Jamar. Who's DJ Moore playing currently? The Vikings.
I don't think he has DJ Moore. I think that's Rondale Moore.
Is it Rondale?
That's Rondale Moore. Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
So
Rondale
it's
Moore.
Austin Eckler, Najee Harris, and then it's Keenan Allen, Jamar Chase, and then as a flex, I think you go DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. That's great. I love that.
We're on the same page. That does not happen very often.
Not at all.
So Mark, we got you on a good time right now. I appreciate the super chat, man. That means a lot.
Yeah, back to Schultz though. I mean, look, I love Schultz. I just did a piece on a trade for Schultz, and he is top.
It's on our YouTube page.
Yeah, he's on our YouTube page, and he's top 3 in I think in all categories: touchdowns, targets. Yeah. Sorry, touchdown targets, and he's a top 7 amongst tight ends in getting targets. Sorry, not top 3. So I love Dalton Schultz this year. I think he's a great guy to trade. Like, for example, if you had a George Kittle right now, I'm trading George Kittle, getting a Dalton Schultz, and upgrading at a wide receiver piece if that person is willing to do that, depending on that other person's team, depending on your team. That's what I would do personally.
Yeah. I think this could be one that we look back on and it was just a trend. That's how I kind of see it. I could be wrong. I just don't see a way. By the way, CeeDee Lamb, first round pick last year. There's no way CeeDee Lamb is getting 3 targets a game. There's no way Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb are this uninvolved. So and by the way, Michael Gallup is also coming back from IR soon. So for me, Schultz is a trade high. I would trade him away if I could. But I could be very wrong on that. I've been wrong on things before. I just think of all the weapons that you have, yeah, Schultz will be good, but I think he'll still have bust games just like every other tight end.
I think
and
so as
he's
well.
not someone that I'm going to be trading for. That's how I see it. But
yeah, I think I would just rather have a low end tie in and an upgrade and compare than rather have a Kittle waiting on my bench or TJ Hawkinson now waiting on.
If I had Schultz and I was 4-1, 5-0, I would definitely be looking to the Kittle owner and doing a trade and then upgrading as well, because I think you can trade Schultz to the Kittle owner who's in desperation and get a piece along with it.
Yeah, absolutely. The same thing with the TJ Hawkinson owner, maybe the same thing with the Noah Fant owner. That's how I feel. That's how I'm seeing it in these scenarios. So
Gibson or Darrell Henderson? Should I do Gibson for Saquon just 1-for-1 then? No, I would still prefer Gibson over Saquon rest of season. We have no idea what's going on with that injury.
Yeah.
You're a Giants fan. I mean, do you have any idea
there's
other than what they've told? I've not heard anything.
No one has reported anything so far with Saquon. They keep it in house. I don't know why. I think that he's just been ruled out, and this ankle injury, it doesn't look like, from what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like it should be a long sustaining injury, like a 6 to 8 weeks max. In my head, worst case scenario max is 4 weeks.
Yeah. I would still prefer Gibson though.
Best case scenario 2 weeks, but we just don't know yet. We just don't know.
You prefer Gibson?
Yeah, I prefer Gibson over Saquon.
I think there's also like the value of like seeing his ankle. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When you saw his ankle and that ballooned up, that's just something that, like, as a fan, like, I'm not a doctor, but I look at that, I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, I do not want this guy on my team.
I think he would definitely.
Who knows what could happen?
Like he was getting on a roll. If once Saquon was staying healthy, I think he could be a good value, but it just all depends on if you are willing to take that chance. But I'm not right now.
Gibson or Darrell Henderson? We got to answer that one.
Gibson or Darrell Henderson? I would still like Gibson, but I'm getting Gibson and Darrell Henderson.
I think it's a start, but I could be wrong. If it's a trade, you're going Gibson. If it's a start,
I'm going Henderson.
Okay.
Because
what do you feel more confident?
I feel more confident in Henderson purely because he's playing the Giants, and I think he will find the end zone. Where this game they could fade away Gibson. It's going to be a shootout. I think the expectation is that it's going to be a shootout against KC.
But I also think that, at the same time, Gibson, like, you can easily run against the Chiefs. So I think they're both going to have really good weeks, but I would lean Henderson slightly as well.
Oh, love ABM. We got ABN. Here we go. Let's see. Where are we at here?
Schultz had 3 against the Chargers, but 26, 17, 15 the past 3 weeks, for sure.
Yeah, it's great.
I think a lot of people who are worried about CD and Amari, that should bring you hope. That's not going to continue, in my opinion. But 4-1, I currently have Josh Allen, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, George Kittle. Should I trade anyone? You can always be open to trades, man. We're of the mindset we're never going to say no to a trade idea. Yeah, we'll always explore it. Just has to be the right one.
Mark Hall, I have Kittle. My tight ends are Everett and Dan Arnold. Should I upgrade trading Kittle? If so, who do you think? Look, once again, so many options. Whatever you need. If you need help at running back, if you need help at wide receiver, you can get anyone. Try to get
I'll just tell you in this here quickly because I don't think he has a solidified tight end to do that trade.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you know what I mean? And he's 4. Sorry. So,
but this is what I mean. I think this is the perfect example.
I would hold Kittle.
This is a perfect example of how I would trade Kittle for Schultz, and then get a piece that I need in return. Right. Because I can get a Schultz, I'll be okay with Schultz and have Everett maybe once Schultz goes on a bye and then cop the L in that tight end position that week, and then have help in a wide receiver or a flex position. So all depends.
Yeah, I would hold on to Kittle because unless you can trade him for like a Dawson Knox or a TJ Hawkinson. But I would hold on to Kittle. And I actually might prefer Kittle over Hawkinson at this point. I know that might sound crazy, but it's just hard. Like, Kittle's on the road to recovery.
Well, yeah, and we Hawkinson don't know is playing through that injury. Going on.
Yeah, so
I agree.
I would hold. And by the way, I would start Dan Arnold this week between those two. But
let's go to Twitch here. ABN. You love to see it. Fast ABN. Shout out to LBN. Start Shep, Tony, Myers, or OBJ, half PPR. Tony, absolutely starting Kadarius Tony. Let's go back to YouTube here. LeBron's brain, Emmanuel Sanders or Higgins tomorrow PPR. I think I'm going Emmanuel.
I know it's weird. Emmanuel Sanders plays on Monday night, right?
Yeah,
he plays against Tennessee. Mm-hmm. I think Tennessee has a greater chance to score points than Detroit, so it feels like the Buffalo Bills will be needing to throw the ball more than Cincinnati. I'm just thinking of game script. It's very close. It's a true toss-up, but I would lean Emmanuel Sanders slightly.
Gibson or Hunt. I think we'll both go. I think just this week, Kareem Hunt. Once again, the Gibson, the expectation of him being faded out with this, not faded out, but it's going to be a shootout, and I don't think they're going to run the ball much. I
still think they're going to establish the run. I think you can establish the run against the Chiefs. So I still love Gibson this week. I get where you're coming from, but I agree Hunt is like a top 7 option this week. So
and Robinson
with Chubb out.
or Renfro. I think it has to be Renfro.
Yeah, you can rely on him more than Robinson right now, which is crazy.
Which is absolutely crazy. And then once again,
we haven't actually talked about the Ertz trade, you and I.
No, we haven't. I mean, look, first thoughts is that it's good for Ertz. Good
for Goddard.
It's good for Goddard. It sucks for Hopkins. It sucks for Rondale
I think Hopkins
Moore.
really is the main one.
Yeah, I think it sucks for all those guys because now you have a solidified tight end, a talented tight end, a Super Bowl winning tight end that knows how to play. He knows how to contribute to this team. And it's going
only 30 years old,
It's going to affect this offense, not in a bad way, but just in a fantasy. It affects this offense in a good way. It affects fantasy in a bad way. But yeah,
I think this is very much a wait and see.
I don't think he's more valuable.
You don't think he's more valuable?
I don't think he's. I think he is. Sorry, I don't think he's more valuable. No, because he goes to a team where there's too many mouths to feed now. Where in the other team there wasn't enough mouths to feed, but they weren't utilizing him in the right way. Now it's like, okay, well, is it AJ Brown, Rondale Moore, D Hop, Chase in the backfield, or is Kyler Murray just going to run it with his legs?
Yeah. I think anytime you go from Jalen Hurts. No disrespect, but what was the guy 13 for 30? I mean, I said this on the live stream. We went live for that game. If he didn't have this crazy athleticism, what would he be? You know what? So I was listening to a podcast this week, and someone compared him to Tim Tebow. I know that sounds disrespectful, but it's actually a little bit accurate when you think about it. Terrible passers, freak athletes.
Oh, Jalen Hurts. Okay, I was like, wait.
What? So when you go from Jalen Hurts to Kyler Murray, I think super able to extend plays.
He wins in the team
very
aspects.
Great at the deep ball. I just think he's
I think he definitely does. I agree. He
quarterback. So I think the offense is going to be on the field more than Philly. So I think that it helps him. This doesn't make Zach Ertz a top 5 tight end, but I think it makes him a top 8 tight end. I think he's a top 8 option going forward in this offense. Max Williams was heavily used before he had that injury, so I think he steps in. He probably demands more targets than what Max was getting. I think this hurts AJ Brown. I think it hurts Christian Kirk. I think it's going to be a 3-headed monster or 4-headed monster. D Hop, Ertz, and Edmonds will be the main, and then I think it's going to be those Rondale, Kirk, AJ who's going to be relevant, on a day. So. I think Ertz is someone I'm willing to trade for on a risk if someone doesn't feel good about him.
Okay, let's see where we're at.
Just subbed. How y'all doing? This is Abraham.
Yeah.
Who would you rather start, AJ Brown or Jacoby Myers? By the way, thanks so much for joining the channel. Appreciate you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually it sounds crazy that's a hard question, but I think you got to go AJ Brown.
You have to go AJ Brown. It sucks because you're not excited to start him, because he hasn't been doing well. Jacoby Myers has been getting the targets, so...
The difference between A.J. Brown and Jacoby Myers is A.J. Brown could put up 3 touchdowns. Jacoby's never scored a touchdown in his career, a receiving touchdown. So it's crazy that that's a real question, because it is. But, yeah, we would go A.J. Bam, what's up, my guy? This may be dumb, but full PPR, Hollywood or CD? Not dumb. I mean, that's a very legitimate question.
Yeah.
If I was in that position, I would be... asking the same thing.
I think I'm gonna go CD. I trust in this offense. I trust in Dak. I think he gets the bulk, but it's a toss up. I think they're both. I think you have to start both of these guys. Sorry,
they're both must starts for sure. So he must have a really good team. I would lean CD, but man, it's so close. I want to see what Marquise looks like with Bateman, and I know Bateman's not going to get a full workload, but
Right.
I think I would lean CD.
Sean Fine. Well, I have James Robinson, but I thought he was an automatic start unless you think Gibson will do better.
You got to start
You
Robinson.
had to start him against
The matchup's too good. I mean, it could go either way, but you can't sit James Robinson.
Yeah. Noah, should I trade CMC and Moss for Saquon and Henderson?
Yeah, I would do it. I would do that. And Darrell Henderson's the main reason why. It's not because of Saquon.
It's for Henderson.
I think you could get more though. I think you should be able to get like a low-tiered a wide receiver there, like a Pittman, Tony.
Yeah, I agree. You get more. You got to get more. At least one little more piece. Mark Cole, do I drop Rondo Moore with Zach Ertz join the team? I think you can't do that right now. It's a wait and see approach. You see what happens, and then you go from there.
Something I want to point out with that, by the way, is Christian Kirk and AJ Green are getting slightly phased out. They've been slightly inconsistent, and Rondale Moore is seeing a higher snap percentage. So, no, you can't drop Rondale Moore yet. I don't know that it's ever going to be clear, but just because of the upside in the offense that he's in, you just can't drop Rondale.
Here we go. Already flexed Fournette, so I'll go with CD and Diggs. Yeah, that's good. Is T.Y. Hilton worth a pickup? At the moment, I don't think so. I'm not running to the waiver wires to pick him up, so I'm not about it, in my personal opinion.
I guess it depends on what your league looks like. Are you in a 16-man league? You know, if you are in a super deep league, yeah, wait and see. Otherwise, 12-man league, no, probably not. I mean, he could have a good game this week, but no.
Pittman or T. Higgins? I'm going Pittman this week.
Yeah, same.
Paulie, should I trade Cooper Kupp, Jamar, and Jamal Williams for Mike Williams, Jonathan Taylor, and Khalil Herbert?
Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase.
And Jamal Williams for Mike Williams, Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, I don't like the idea of Khalil Herbert.
The Jonathan Taylor one is sexy, but
it's nice, but I'm still riding with Cooper and Jamar, and I like the floor of Jamal Williams there. Mike Williams.
I think the issue in this trade, by the way, is Khalil Herbert. Yeah. He's very much a 1 week fill-in. If you could get more value than Khalil Herbert, if you can make Khalil Herbert like some lower tiered wide receiver, like a Boyd, Tony, Pittman, I would be okay with that. Boyd or Shenault, I would go Boyd. You would go Shenault.
I'm going Shenault. Yeah, I just like the matchup this week more than Boyd. In my
Boyd's against Detroit though, but it's hard to see what the game script will be like.
Yeah, that's my concern. Pick 2 PPR: Mike Williams, Jamar Chase, and Joe Mixon.
You can't sit Mike Williams or Jamar Chase at this point.
No, you can't. But at the same time, we talk about game script. So if the game script does
It's true.
Game script does go to plan, you're going Mike Williams and Joe Mixon. But all these guys are must starts. You have to start.
Yeah, they're all must starts.
All these guys. But the thought process at the game script will be that Joe's going to be running all over Detroit.
Yeah.
Start 2, Woods, Jamar, CD. I'm going Woods and Jamar.
I would go Jamar and CD. Love Woods. I just don't think I can sit CD or Jamar at this point.
How you doing tonight, Ryan? We're doing good, man. Thank you so much. All love. How you doing?
How you doing?
Keenan Fleming, Mayfield, the Big Ben. I think we both say Big Ben.
Yeah, better matchup. It's not fun though. Got you, Wahab. Appreciate you for coming, my guy. What do you guys think of Michael Thomas? Oh, that's such. I said this earlier. I think he's the biggest outside of George Kittle. Did I say Michael Thomas? I don't remember. He's one of the biggest unknowns in fantasy right now. Like the offense looks terrible. It looked good against Washington, but every offense looks good against Washington. Michael Thomas is like truly the biggest unknown. He could come back and get like 10 targets a game, or he could come back and be like a 10-point play every week. It's not like, do you trust Jameis Winston? It's hard, man.
I don't trust Michael Thomas. I'm completely avoiding him. If I have him, I'm trading him high. If I don't have him, I'm not picking him up. If he's on the waiver wires, I'm I'm going to see if I can pick him up and trade him. But other than that, I don't care about him. I really don't. I'm nowhere near.
He's a good stash. Let's just wait and see.
Yeah, you can stash him and wait and see, but I don't want him. I really don't. Oh, love, thank you so much. Classy Black Man from YouTube for subscribing. I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate that,
Chase
bro.
Edmonds or Javonte Booker. I think you have to go Chase Edmonds here. Let me just double check who he plays.
They play the Browns.
I think they still
in Cleveland.
I think they still utilize him. I like Chase Edmonds more than Javonte Booker. I don't know about you. What do you think?
I'm just trying to think about who's more necessary to their offense this week. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah.
Because I don't know the answer, but I'm just trying to think like game script and who's more necessary to their offense. Edmonds is at Cleveland. He's dealing with an injury. The goal line work isn't his, unfortunately. If the Giants get down to the goal line, do you think Booker is the goal line back? I think he is.
Oh,
so it makes it really difficult.
They're gonna utilize him like Saquon, I think. Well, I
would go Booker.
I feel more comfortable with Chase.
Is this a full PPR though? If it's full PPR, Chase. If it's full PPR, I would go Chase. But it's very close, and it's an understandable question.
What do you think? Sorry.
Yeah.
It says, what do you think I can give up for Michael Pittman because I want and maybe Thielen? Yeah, why not? Try Thielen for Michael Pittman. The decline could be coming.
Well, I was gonna say you might actually be able to try and get. You might be able to send Thielen and get Pittman and then another piece to upgrade on, like a smaller upgrade. Right. So 2 for 2. Because I think people would still value Thielen over Pittman, although I would prefer Pittman. But I think that you can go Michael Pittman and a player for Adam Thielen and a player and still upgrade in that second position. So
yeah, love that. Mark Hall, you guys are
effing awesome.
Oh, fucking awesome. For real.
Effing awesome. Fantasy football awesome.
Yeah, don't change anything. I've been doing this for 30 years. Can you put your live stream schedule up? Hey, Mark, thank you so much for all the love and support. We really appreciate you. We wouldn't be doing this without you, people like you. Look, I think we do. I don't know if we have a schedule up on YouTube, but what
I'm going to do is I'm going to put our Discord community link in the chat right now. Mm-hmm. So I just pasted it. Mm-hmm. And is there a way on YouTube to post a schedule?
I don't know. We can definitely look into that. But look, let me tell you what we do, Mark. Every Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go live for however long. It could be an hour. It can be 2 hours, 3 hours, however long. We also go live every Thursday night and Sunday night football. Zack and I, we have a couple friends as well. We come on. We have a show called Talk It Up. We actually watch the game live. We can't show you the game, but we react. We have live reactions, and we just have fun the whole night and watching those games. Throughout the off season, coming into the season, we do a lot of mock drafts, and just any information about football. A lot of Q&As throughout the off season as well. We go live for the draft.
Yeah, we try and go live as possible. Honestly, I mean, in the off season before the year began, we were doing mock drafts like
Thank you so much,
4
Mike.
times a week, and everyone in our Discord was joining us, and then we were doing them live. So, yeah, I hope that helps. I pretty much said every time we go live, but if you just turn on the bell, you won't miss it either.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really appreciate the love though.
Let's go on Twitch really fast.
Who would be a good trade for Pittman? We did that. It's PPR. Is Guyton a good sleeper if Mike Williams is out? I think he's a decent play in DFS, but I wouldn't be starting him in my lineups. Chase Edmonds is the one that we picked. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Chase Edmonds. Should I trade Mixon and Pittman for Eckler? Yeah, I would do it.
Yes, I would do it as well.
To get Eckler? Hell yeah.
On Twitch.
Keep dropping your question, guys. I am going to just pee quickly because it's just flowing through my body.
All good. No stress. Scott Emmanuel Sanders or Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm going to go with Amon-Ra. I think he, like Zach said, he's going to be utilized a lot more in this offense. I know Emmanuel Sanders has a high upside player. He's going to be going crazy. So I think you should go Amon-Ra. I think Emmanuel Sanders could, depending on this team or on this game script, that he might not even be utilized because I think these guys can go up early, in my opinion. We asked that question. Should I trade Thielen for Cooks? I don't want Cooks personally. I'd still rather have Adam Thielen because any week he can find the end zone, where Cooks, we just don't know. We have to wait until Tyrod Taylor gets back, and I still would just rather have Thielen. I like his floor personally. Is Cooper Kupp a top 5 wide receiver rest of the season PPR? I think he is. If he doesn't finish outside top 5, he will definitely be in the top 10. I mean, he's on pace for it right now. It's absolutely fantastic. I think he's wide receiver 1 right now, if I'm not mistaken, in full PPR. Yeah, absolutely, wide receiver 1 right now in full PPR. I like Cooper Kupp rest of the season. I think Zack will say the same thing as well. Flex Kurt or Stevenson. This is hard because I think Damian is playing, probably be limited. I think I'm going Kirk. I don't like it, but I don't like it, but I think you have to go Kirk. Who do you have as your top 7 rest of the season wide receivers, full PPR? It's a good question. Hold on, let me pull it up here. Obviously, you have to. Let's get these guys out the way. Tyreek or Javonte. Let's get those 2 out the way. Okay. Guys I do believe in that could finish in the top 7. I see Cooper Kupp. I see Mike Williams. That's 4. All right, I'll give you 3 more. I want to say I like Justin Jefferson. That's 5. He's been getting targeted like crazy. I think, Kirk Cousins is playing great right now. And who else? I'm just gonna give you 2 more. DJ Moore, and probably Keenan Allen. I think those are the guys. My top 7. Who's your top 7 wide receivers, Zach? Rest of the season. It's a big question.
Rest of the season.
These are my top guys. I said get the big guys out the way. Tyreek Hill, Davante Adams, and I think those are the 2. And then I said Cooper Kupp, Mike Williams. I said Keenan Allen, Justin Jefferson, and then it's no particular order. These are the guys I just believe could finish top 7.
Yeah.
And I think DJ Moore can be top 7 still.
Yeah, rest of season, I will obviously Davante Adams, Tyreek Hill. I would put Kupp there as well. I will put Jefferson there.
Well, that's what I think I said Kupp, sorry.
I would put Mike Williams. I think I'll put Terry McLaurin in there as well. With how hyper targeted he is. How many is that? And then I would probably put Justin Jefferson in there as well.
Yeah, I like Justin Jefferson. He's been going.
Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are like right outside that, and they're even for me.
Okay. Here we go. I will start Mixon, but I already have Taylor and Zeke starting, so that's why I asked if Mixon should start over Mike Williams and Jamar Chase. Right. That's good. Yeah. Continue with that. Mark, hit that like button, guys. That's why I haven't seen these people. All love, Mark. Appreciate you.
Big love, bro.
I like Diggs too. Yeah, Diggs can definitely finish top 7. Absolutely.
Yeah, did I not say Diggs?
I didn't say Diggs.
Sheesh, yeah. No, I still believe in him as a top 7 guy.
There's so many people.
You know what's crazy is there are so many good wide receivers this year.
Yeah, there's a lot. So
it's like the top 7 could be top 14, whereas running backs, it's like, man, there are like 5 elite guys.
Yeah,
and then it's kind of like, yeah.
There's so many. Yeah, you're right. There's so many great wide receivers. It's just hard.
D Hop. There's a question that just dropped in. D Hop's probably the one I'm the least confident of the ones that we just talked about. It's not because of his talent. It's because of what we said earlier. Like there's just so many options, and he's not as necessary as like Terry McLaurin, for example. Like he doesn't need as many targets for the Cardinals to win.
I agree.
But all these other guys need to get targeted for their teams to win. I would still trade D-Hop high right now if you can.
Chase, I think Chase is definitely in conversation. I think it's still early, but I like Chase for sure. Maybe not top 7, maybe top 14 for sure, top 10.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm concerned about Diggs because Allen is spreading the ball around and they have a good defense, so they'll keep running the ball. Yeah, I mean, I can see why that's concerning, But I think
Totally.
he's still a great talent. I think, when it comes to it, when he needs somebody to rely on, it's Stephon Diggs. And I like that.
Yeah.
I like that he can
I
go to
think
Diggs.
Diggs is unfortunately not finding the end zone all that much this year compared to last year, but the targets are still there. So let me actually find out where he is in target share right now.
I can tell you right now, I actually
So
have
right now he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's actually 12th in targets. And that's actually surprising to hear.
And wide receivers, are you sure? Hold on. One,
Yeah, he is
two,
12th in targets right now. That's actually concerning.
Where are you
At
seeing
the
this?
same,
Because I'm looking at it, and he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
where are you
9.
looking at?
9 pros.
No, I'm looking at lineups, which is a really, really good
Well,
asset. The one we use um, like how many points different defenses give up.
oh, you're going through that? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
For
and
me,
also make sure you click on targets.
yeah,
Is it
yeah.
definitely?
For me, it says 7. Devontae
I
Adams,
don't
Cooper
understand how
Cup.
that stat could be wrong.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, 9. That's why I said 9.
Targets. Yeah, I don't know
Anyways,
how these stats could be different, but the fact that he's not even top 5. Let's talk about that. The fact that he's not even top 5. Last year he's a number 1 targeted wide receiver. It is concerning, right? It is concerning. I would say Diggs. Still though, the offense that he's connected to. The reason it's 9 is because that website you're using did an update from what happened this last Thursday Night Football. But the website I'm using is so that would make sense. But anyway, that is a good I in my head Diggs was top 5 in targets still.
right.
It's concerning.
Yeah.
I guess it's concerning because of where you drafted him.
Yeah.
If I have him, I'm not panicking. I'm not trading him away. I would maybe look to trade for him if someone is still worried. But yeah, it is concerning. You're not wrong there.
Should I be concerned about the Titans abandoning the run to keep up with the Bills? I have Henry. No, I think they'll still utilize him. He's actually been getting a lot of work in the passing game as well. A lot more than usual. Not a lot. Not like Swift numbers, but he's getting a lot more work in the passing game, which is
for sure. I think last year he had 17 receptions all year. I could be wrong, but I remember talking about this in the offseason. It was something like 17 receptions. And as of right now, he's got 15 targets.
14 receptions.
Well, 15 catches. He hasn't dropped a pass yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, you start Derrick Henry with confidence.
Where else? Nobody is talking about really either. How about him in the top 7? I don't think he's top 7. I think he can definitely finish top 12 at least. If they can pick up stuff in Atlanta, I think it's definitely a good option there for Calvin Ridley.
He's probably a good buy low candidate as well when you think about it, but yeah, he's not this top 5 guy that people drafted him as.
Mm-hmm. Jamar Chase.
And by the way, he's been bad. Let's just say that.
100%. He's definitely been bad. It's just
he's dropped a lot of passes that were long bombs.
Yes. Yeah. That yes. I think
he will be better. Jamar Chase already tied rookie long touchdowns for a year. Yeah, he's a monster. I remember when everyone was, because we covered Dynasty as well. I remember everyone was freaking out in Dynasty and trading him after they just took him with their 2nd overall rookie draft. I'm like, guys, chill. Would you rather have Keenan Allen or Ridley rest of the season? I would go Keenan.
Keenan Allen, yeah. Cole Ward. PPR, I have 2 spots. Williams, Chuba, Lockett. I'm thinking Williams and Chuba. Yeah.
I would do the same.
And Scott on Twitch. I think it's Scott.
That's Scott Hansen?
Scott Hansen. Great guy. Great friend of the show. Should I trade Dalvin Cook and AJ Brown for DeAndre Hopkins and Antonio Gibson? I think I would still rather have Dalvin and AJ.
Yeah, agreed.
I'd rather have Dalvin and AJ personally.
I would rather have Dalvin and AJ as well. I think as like even if you're like 3-2 or 4-1 at this point, and you can just cop the Dalvin Cook by next week, you're going to be in a better position for the rest of the season. Cook's still going to be a top 3 running back when he's healthy. So, by the way, just quickly on the Keenan one, because the question was Keenan or Ridley. Let's not forget that Keenan Allen is still top 3 in targets. The long bombs have gone to Mike Williams, and Mike Williams has been a monster and been so targeted, but Keenan is still should be considered in the elite category. Do you think Kupp will go over 20 points against the Giants this week? I'm concerned they're going to just use the run. I guess the question is, will the Giants be able to score on the Rams? You're going to have to answer that for us.
Look, it depends which Giants come out. Really, and it's not the offense Giants come out. Is the defense going to show up? Because our defense is decent. We just need to be consistent. There's games that we can shut you out, and there's games that we can't do it. So if it all depends. But at the moment, you have to put your money on Cooper Kupp getting more than 20 points. I think he can. He definitely can. I think Robert Woods can. Everyone on this team can get more than 20 points. So I think you should definitely start Cooper Kupp and hope that he gets more than 20 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, the matchup's not good, but you don't sit any superstars ever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I remember someone was asking us if they sit Mark Andrews last week, or Lamar Jackson. They were like, oh, Jalen Hurts has a better matchup. I don't remember who it was. We're like, look, we always have a saying, you start your stars because it doesn't matter what the matchup is.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook is going to be a league winner. I agree. I think he was on our trade 4 targets last week, this week. I still think he's a good trade 4. I mean, right now, this is a guy who's like, what is he, running back 30 on the year? Is that right?
Something like that.
And whoever drafted him probably drafted him 2nd overall. So their team is probably bleeding. He's the running back 38 on the year.
Give it to Dalvin.
Perfect time to trade for him.
And he has
probably on
now.
His absolute lowest value ever.
Yeah, and he's about to have his buy now, or after this week. So it's just going to be a great opportunity to
check it out after the buy as well. Mm-hmm. Dallas, Baltimore. You can run on Baltimore. Chargers, not so good. But Green Bay, San Francisco, Detroit.
Give it to Dalvin. Wow.
He's the best buy low right now, I think. And I don't think you're going to be able to buy him after this week.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, there's 19 people watching. Any questions? It's 2:40 p.m. here in Australia. We've been live for almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
But it's been fun.
Would you sell high on Jonathan Taylor like for Najee and Kamara? I think I'll still keep Jonathan Taylor. The schedule ahead is too good, in my personal opinion.
If you can get a Najee or a Kamara, you wouldn't sell Jonathan Taylor?
If I can get a Kamara or Najee, no, I think I'm still keeping JT with that schedule. It looks too nice. Yeah, it looks too nice.
Well, that's just interesting because you've been
off on Jonathan.
You've been
Taylor.
anti JT.
Yeah, I'm still anti JT. I just think the schedule is fantastic. I mean, I can't argue with the schedule.
No, I get that. I think so. Jonathan Taylor, I think I would still prefer an Alvin Kamara. Last week, I think they finally figured out how to use Kamara. It's either they figured out how to use him or they played Washington. But he had, 6 receptions? Let me double check.
Something like that.
He had 8 targets, 5 receptions. So I would still prefer Kamara, but it's close.
What else we got here? Do you think Mike Williams will finish the season ahead of Keenan Allen? It looks like it right now. I think the chances are high at the moment, but Keenan Allen, I mean,
if you're a betting man, he's already way ahead of him.
Mark,
but rest of season from this point out, I still think Keenan has a chance to finish higher.
Yeah. Chive Native Gaming, Booker or Javonte Williams 1 point PPR.
PPR, right? I would go. I think I would go Javonte still.
Yeah. This one's hard.
Yeah, it's hard because probably the safest play is Booker because he's the only guy.
I've been running with Javonte.
Javonte's probably the higher upside.
I've been running with Javonte today, so I'm gonna say Javonte as well. Do you think Zeke is going to eat this week? Absolutely. Don't stress about
Every
Zeke.
week.
Every single week he will. Zach.
I mean, there will be a week he has a down week, but you got to start him.
Yeah, Lockett or Waddle full flex this week. I'm going Lockett for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah,
I'm more
go Lockett
comfortable.
as
I'm more
well,
comfortable with Lockett. Especially with Russ out right now. I'm thinking buy him low, in my opinion. Cole, my wide receivers are 2 stacked. I have Debo, Chase, Lockett, and Deontay Johnson. I also have Michael Thomas on my IR. Should I try and trade and 1 target? I think you should probably trade Lockett, see what happens. And
I don't know if you can trade Lockett on a high though right now.
I think there's people out there. I don't know. I personally think you can, but I think you shop everyone and see what happens. Shop Debo, shop Chase, see what you can get for all these guys and see what's the best value you're gonna get. It all depends on what the other guy likes or a fantasy player likes. So do that. We got some JKG Bosch. I don't know how to say that on Twitch. Love. Oliver,
thanks for the follow on Twitch, bro.
You're in Australia. Wow, didn't know that yet. We currently live in Sydney, Australia. Once again, it's 2:42 p.m. It's actually Sunday here. So that's actually really exciting for us because that means the football starts at midnight in exactly 10 hours from now.
So we're both Americans, but we live in Australia at the moment.
All love, brother.
And our football for us starts at 4 a.m. Yeah. Used to be 3 a.m., but thank God for the time change. But yeah. And the London game will start at midnight or 12:30 a.m.
12:30, and then it ends. And right when that
every
game
Monday,
ends,
I'm destroyed. I'm just destroyed every Monday because it's literally watching football from like midnight because of the London games till because we go live for Sunday Night Football as well, which is like 12 midday our day. So we're pretty much watching football from midnight to like 3 p.m.
3 p.m. that whole day. So it's actually exhausting, but we do it because we love it. Who do you guys start? Deontay Johnson would you guys start Deontay Johnson over Diggs, Jefferson, or Scary Terry this week? Look, all these guys we have a saying here, start your stars. All these guys that it looks like you have to start. You have to start Diggs, a Jefferson, a Terry, and Deontay. But if I had to choose one, Deontay Johnson over Diggs. I think I'm starting Deontay Johnson because of he's getting targeted right now, and Diggs has been up and down. I just feel more comfortable.
I don't think I could sit Diggs. I think I would sit Deontay, but we just see that differently.
Jefferson or Scary Terry.
I would actually be looking at trading one of these guys, FIFA. If these are your 4, you might be in an 8-man league, but if these are your 4, you might be weak somewhere else at tight end or running back. I would be looking to trade one of these guys to upgrade a different position because you don't want to be in this position every week. You know, it's just like, man, there's a lot of options, and you'll be frustrated that you sat the wrong person. Should I trade for him? This is Cook. Current running backs are Kamara, Mixon, and Dillon on the bench. I mean, yeah, if you could trade like a Joe Mixon and something small for Dalvin Cook, I would do that.
See what happens.
My tight end is Gesicki, perfect FIFA. So any one of these guys, preferably for me, I would try and move Deontay to try and get like an elite tight end. Try and go get a Mark Andrews, a Darren Waller. I'll tell you what, I own Darren Waller in a lot of leagues, and I'm happy with him, but I could understand why people would be disappointed because he's not lived up to expectations yet. So I would be looking to try and go get an elite tight end if I was you. Is it hard to keep up with football content over there? It's not hard. It's just different. Like
there's definitely disadvantages. You know, like when, for example, when Zack got traded, that happened in the middle of the night for us. So we woke up to that news, and like usually, if we were in America and we did this in America, then we probably would have went live and probably had the live reaction of like Zack being traded and had the conversation with you guys and be like, oh, you know, Zack there. What do you guys think about it? Kind of like that same conversation we had earlier with Zack and myself.
To be fair though, sometimes the news comes out when everyone in America is asleep.
Yeah.
Remember? Like when Cam Newton got cut. Yeah. We were the only people live to talk about that, and we had like hundreds of people watching.
Yeah.
So it has its advantages and disadvantages. I think the biggest disadvantage is just when the games are, like waking up that early. That's the disadvantage. Tony has a question here.
All right. Questions on rest of season quarterbacks. Have Hurts any recommendations on backups?
It really depends on who's available.
Yeah, it really all does, honestly.
Let us know who's available, and then we might be able to give you our favorite option, Tony.
We should go on Twitch really fast.
Okay.
JKG. I have two options, two open spots. Start Tony, Diggs, or Jefferson. I think you start Diggs and Jefferson. That's easy.
You start your stars. We always say that. Start your stars.
The Colombian, still here. We're waiting for the kickoff games. Yeah. Imagine we were live. We should try that. So it's really popular to do a 24-hour live stream.
Holy
it would
shit.
be so difficult, especially it definitely.
My ass gets sore after 3 hours live.
A lot of people had their setup like on their couch and like were just moving around, and they had different people, and then they definitely took breaks. Like,
jeez,
we should definitely do that one day for like the games.
I was thinking we should do that next year preseason. We should do 24 hours mock draft. And just keep mock drafting. Do you know what I mean?
That would be so boring.
And like anyone in the community can join us. We'll do a mock draft every hour. 24 mock drafts.
That's so hard. Yeah, I'm down to do it. It's definitely hard. We'll talk about it. All right, back on Twitch here. Would you trade Mike Williams for Chuba Hubbard standard?
You mean YouTube, right?
Yeah, sorry, YouTube. Yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah, YouTube. Evan.
Would you trade Mike Williams for Chuba? No.
It's in a standard league, though.
No, I would still prefer Mike Williams.
Yes, me too.
I mean, Mike Williams, even in a standard league, this dude's putting up like how many yards a game? No, it's not even close. Like Chuba's actually less valuable. Oh, for Chubb. The question is Chubb.
Oh, Chubb. Sorry, Chuba. Stupid. I'm trading. Mike Williams for Chubb. Why not?
I think you can get more than just Chubb for Mike Williams at this point.
Okay. Nah, that's my bad. I read that wrong, Evan. I like the Chuba. Chubb. I'm trading away Mike Williams.
What are we going on right now? 3 hours live?
For Chubb, yeah.
I think Mike Williams in a standard league is more valuable than even in a PPR league. So this puts me in a hard position, because Mike Williams is getting those long bombs every week. I think you need to get Chubb and a piece, especially because Chubb's injury. Who knows what is this injury? How long that calf injury? Isn't it a calf? That's a pretty big deal. So
yeah,
I would need another piece to move Mike Williams. That sounds crazy, but it's true. What part of Aussie land are you guys streaming from? So we live in Sydney. Sydney, Australia, mate.
Sydney, mate, you dog.
Both Americans, but living in Sydney.
Yeah,
are you concerned about Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller with Gruden now? I'm not concerned about Waller, but Jacobs, his upside looks very limited.
I'm really concerned about just everyone. I know Waller is probably the safest, but I'm concerned about everyone. I don't like anyone there, period, besides Waller, but I'm just concerned. I'm scared.
I don't think the offense changes, and I'll tell you why. Because the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator stay the exact same. The special teams coordinator is now the interim head coach. So it wouldn't really make any sense for him to come and switch up the offenses that have been in set the entire offseason. So I'm not worried about it personally, but I also don't love Josh Jacobs. Mixon and Michael Thomas for Dalvin Cook. Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah.
I would not do Pittman.
No,
don't add Pittman in there, but Mixon and Michael Thomas for Dalvin Cook, I would definitely do that.
Mixon or Michael Thomas is a throwaway piece.
He's not a throwaway piece. I think we had to.
There's no way for me. I see value for him. No way. I see
value for him because it's just super obvious that there is no wide receiver one there, and that's what they need. So he could fill in and get 10 targets a game. Like that's a real possibility. But at the same time, the offense looks dreadful. So I understand.
Yeah.
I definitely would do that for Cook though.
I traded D-Hop for Diggs. Did I win? Yeah.
I would rather have Diggs. Yeah.
I would rather have Diggs. I think you did. Should I do Gibson for Nick Chubb? I would rather have Nick Chubb than Gibson.
I would rather have Gibson,
I think,
especially with the unknown of Chubb's injury.
Yeah, I feel you on that one, but I think I still rather have Nick Chubb. If you can guarantee me that Nick Chubb can be back next week and he'll be all right, sure, I'm taking Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I think the injury, and then if you're in any sort of PPR format, I would still prefer Gibson over Chubb. Hubbard or Moss PPR. Hubbard has volume, but leaning Moss because of the matchup. That's actually a good question. I like Moss's matchup. They played Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I like Moss over Hubbard this week.
I'm gonna go Zach Moss. I said this. You guys can actually check it out. We release a trade for and trade away video, trade targets on YouTube every week. Thank you to Kashif for subscribing. But Zach Moss was actually a trade for target this week for me. And that's because of the trends that we're starting to see. It looks like Zach Moss is about to take over this backfield. He's had the 8th most opportunities in the red zone of any player in the NFL. So he's used there. Do you think it's smart to give away Swift and Antonio Brown for CMC and PPR? No.
I haven't seen Najee and Jonathan Taylor as my other running backs. Well, you must be an 8-man league if you have all those guys.
Yeah, but still, like, the CMC owner, if they don't trade now, the value is going to continue to go down with the uncertainty and people seeing that he's not starting. And, like, who knows if he comes back? Like, what if this hamstring just continues to be an issue? So, no, I can't do that if I was you. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree. Waller or Mike Williams? Waller has been killing my team so far.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like, I think it's a perfect time to trade low on Darren Waller.
You got Darren Waller?
Yeah.
You like Dawson Knox, bro?
No.
Okay. See?
I still prefer Darren Waller. I'm telling you it's a perfect time to trade low for him.
Yeah, Dawson Knox. Great guy.
Not to trade him away. I don't want to trade him away.
CMC.
Wait. We didn't even answer this question.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Is this a start question, Oliver, or is this a trade question? If it's a start question, you go Mike Williams.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a trade, it really, really depends on your team and what your needs are. Go ahead. Next question.
CMC, Chubb, both out. I need 2 emergency running backs. Who should I start? Depends on who's on your team, bro. Let us know who's on your team.
Give us the options, my guy.
I traded away Jefferson, Corey Davis, and James Robinson for Najee and Chubb in full PPR. Did I win? I think you did, depending on what happened with your wide receivers and who your wide receivers are. But according to this, I like Najee and Chubb rest of the season, but JJ has been doing great.
I prefer JJ and James Robinson. But this really depends on what your needs are. Yeah. If you're already set at wide receiver and you didn't need Jefferson, then yeah, it's a win. But
I'm the opposite there. So
it's close. It's close.
Tony, I think his question was about what part? Not Tony. Which one? He was like,
where was Tony's questions?
Rest of the season quarterbacks that have Hurts, any recommended backups? Right. So Heineke, Carr, Darnold. I like Heineke and Sam Darnold, in my opinion, are great backups.
Yeah, agreed. Darnold's going to be interesting without CMC. Like, what's he going to look like? Because it's been up and it's been down without CMC.
Mm-hmm.
There's the good thing, Tony, is there seems like a lot of great options. When you need to stream the position. So this week I would go Heineke, but all these guys, it's going to depend on the week that you're streaming them, what the matchup is.
Rank these 3: Swift, Gibson, Saquon. I think in that order for me.
Yeah, Swift, Gibson, and Saquon. Yeah.
CMC
for Elliott. I would be happy to get Zeke instead of CMC with the injury.
He said and Chubb, so Swift, Chubb, Gibson, Saquon for me.
So this is just where we'll see it slightly different. I would go Swift, Gibson, and Chubb, and then Saquon.
Okay. Classic Black Man. I traded Alvin Kamara for Davante Adams and Chase Edmonds, who won.
I'm happy with the Davante Adams is a freak, so I'm pretty happy with the Adams-Edmonds side. The other side probably needed running backs, and they already had solid wide receivers. So it's possibly a win-win, but I like the Davante Adams side.
Mm-hmm. And I have Adams and Hill in a 10-man league. So he traded away Justin Jefferson, Corey Davis, and James Robinson for Najee and Chubb. I like it.
Okay.
Well, now
that makes sense.
Now you kind of hurt with Chubb hurt, so it all depends. Here we go. We got some more information on this question. I traded away. CMC, Chubb, both out. I need 2 emergency running backs. Who should I start? I
he
have
had Fournette on his bench.
Oh, GG's, Tony Pollard and Zach Moss. You had to start both of those guys.
Sucks.
I'm the only one who asked about emergency. Am I the only one who asked about emergency running back?
He is. He's just saying he is. I mean, you start Zach Moss. I don't know. Is the options between Pollard and Moss? Because if so, you go Zach Moss.
Mm-hmm. But if those are the only two guys you have, then you have to do Moss.
You have to start them.
Both.
Yeah. All right. This has been really, really good. I think we've been on about 3 hours. I need to eat some food. Unless you want to keep going, I'm down with whatever.
No, I mean we can call it. I think it's been good enough. I think people are here. My butt's starting to hurt, and yeah.
Here's what I'll say. If you guys have a question, still join our Discord. Because we've got a great community there that has each other's backs. So I'll pop the Discord one more time in the chat. So go ahead and feel free to join that Discord. We're in there. We focus on replying to our Patreon supporters through Discord, but our community is always active. We will be live for Sunday Night Football, so join us then. Otherwise, we will see you next time.
Yeah, and if you guys want, I know a lot of people were here finding us for the first time. Patreon.com/FantasylandFam is the best way to support us. And we have a thing called Fantasy Hotline where you have a direct line to Zack and myself answering all your fantasy questions, just like we do here at any time. So Patreon.com/FantasylandFam. I think Zack will pop that in the chat right now. If you want to come in, support the channel. It's all love, y'all. Thank you so much for coming through. And
huge love. And by the way, we also broke down a bunch of matchups on our podcast. So Fantasyland Football, you can find that on any podcast platform. But huge love.
Appreciate you guys. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Good luck this week, guys.
Give you a GG's.
The GG's, boys. Thanks for playing.
All right, boys.
That's
All
so
up.
loud.
It is super loud.